Ladies and gentlemen, it is Wednesday, January 28th, 2026. Here's what's coming up on the Owen Report today. So the White House today is celebrating the new Trump plan, Trump accounts. And it's this idea, newborn babies get this Trump account, and then if they put a bunch of money in it, they can have a bunch of money when they're 18 or when they're 30. And so, it's a nice idea. It's a nice idea. We'll talk about whether we like it or not. Hillary Clinton proposed this idea years ago, and Republicans hated it. But now that it's Trump branded, everybody loves it. Maybe we look at the success, the failures of Social Security as kind of a mile marker here. But they're all celebrating it. They got the team in town. They got the millionaires and billionaires, the donor class in town. They got Nicki Minaj up there, shaking her derriere. So we're gonna cover that. We're gonna look into that. We've got some details on the latest from the Minnesota shooting. And it's really just more of a disaster. There's no good news. There's no good news as far as that is concerned. But there is an investigation. It looks like the officers are, they're not in a good place right now. The Trump administration has sent the FBI into Fulton County, Georgia. They want to review some election documents from 2020. They want to review some of those documents. I'll tell you what I think about that. We got some news from Rand Paul today. We got some news from Tim Burchett today. We got some Trump Truth Social posts dealing with some of the domestic issues, some of the international issues. We got some business news today, some tech news. Really, we got a lot of news. We got some geopolitical news, too. Oh, yeah. Really, we just got a lot of news to cover today. But we're gonna look at some of the developments here. It kind of becomes this measuring stick of what is MAGA? What is this administration? What does it represent? What are we going to get? What are we not going to get? And I think it becomes a little more clearer with every passing day what we're going to get and what we're not going to get. But I kind of have this new conclusion. I've kind of reached a new conclusion about Trump and the administration. And I'm just curious, what you guys think. It seems to me maybe that Trump has had the realization, members of the administration have had the realization, America's done. America's done. There is no country anymore. It's all corporations. It's all special interests. It's all foreign interests. And at one point, Trump might have been a true believer. At one point, Trump might have thought he could get in there and save the country. But I think now he realizes there's no country left to save. And so they're just plundering everything they can to enrich themselves and their families because the country's toast. It's already cooked. It's already done. There is no country. When you have no border, when you tax your people, when you have no justice, it's just corporations, special interest, and foreign interest, and then the people kind of running around trying to keep their head above water. Starting to feel like that's what the administration has done, and every decision that they make is based off of that and trying to leverage that to enrich and empower themselves, their families, the donors, the special interests, the foreign interests. That's what it feels like to me.
This news update was brought to you by OwenSchroyer.store, the official site for Owen Report merchandise.
All right, guys, you don't have much time left to take advantage of the winter prep special at mypatriotsupply.com/Owen. Now, some of you in the last week might have been sitting there watching the snow fall, watching the ice gather on the roads, the power lines. Maybe you even lost power. There's still people today without power. And you might have been sitting there thinking, okay, am I prepared? It's one thing if the power goes out for a couple hours during a bad storm. It's one thing if the power goes out in the summer, but it goes out and it's 20 degrees, maybe for a day or two. All of a sudden, you're in a bit of a pickle. You're in a tough situation. You're freezing. There's nothing open. You can't go get any food anywhere. You better have food. I'm even somebody that's prepared. I'm even somebody that has preparedness, food, items. I'm prepared. And still, I sat and watched the ice gather and saw the reports of power going out and the city shut down. And even I was sitting there saying, oh, am I prepared? Am I prepared enough? And that's even somebody that is. So, folks, if you're not, if you just endured this winter storm, you made it through, we're all good, but you had that concern for yourself, maybe your family, take advantage of this winter prep special. It's not going to be around just a couple more days, and this will expire. All you got to do is go to mypatriotsupply.com/Owen or scan the barcode right on the screen. It's 3 months of emergency food supply plus $400 in free bonus gear, water filters, and more. But the most important aspect of this winter prep special at mypatriotsupply.com/Owen is the Vesda off-grid space heater. This is the one right here, folks. It's freezing. You lose power. What are you going to do? The Vesda off-grid space heater, that is the answer. It doesn't require electricity. It doesn't require propane. It's indoor safe. And so with the Vesda stashed in your closet, you know you can keep warm no matter what. It's in this bundle. It's in the bundle. It is the winter prep bundle, but it's only available for a couple more days. So scan the barcode on the screen or go to mypatriotsupply.com/Owen and take advantage of this special, folks, before it's gone.
On the cutting edge of news and analysis, the Owen Report with Owen Schroyer.
Let's start the show. I want to start the show with a Bible verse today. Deuteronomy 28:43 and 44. Foreigners who live in your land will gain more and more power while you gradually lose yours. They will have money to lend you, but you will have none to lend them. In the end, they will be your rulers. Deuteronomy 28:43 and 44. How does that one hit today? How are you guys enjoying the Nicki Minaj takeover? How are you guys enjoying it? I find the whole thing to be extremely cringe. I find the whole thing to be a bit comical, laughable. Kind of shows the administration is just, it's all vanity. It's all slop. But if you're trying to make sense of it, which I think we're all trying to make sense of it, none of it seems to make sense, so we're trying to make sense of it. Here's how I make sense of it. I think that from Trump campaigning yesterday to Nicki Minaj with Trump today and the photo ops and the vanity of it all, you're now officially in the midterm campaign cycle. That's all this is. This is campaigning for the midterms. Look, Nicki Minaj likes Republicans. Look, Trump's campaigning. He's in Iowa. Vote Republican. That's what this is. So try to understand when you start to see some of this stuff. It's early in the midterm election cycle. Obviously, we're not really into it yet. We haven't even had the primaries. But that's what this is. They're already in the election cycle. They're already in the campaign process. And that's because they know right now, the Republicans know they're down bad. So they need Donald Trump. They need Nicki Minaj. They need the photos. They need the celebrity. They need some reason to get you to go vote for Republicans because obviously they don't have any policy successes, I guess. I mean, that's the message here. If the policies were so successful, if the approval rating was so high, if the American people actually liked what they were getting from this administration, they wouldn't have to parade Nicki Minaj around. They wouldn't have to parade Donald Trump around the country. The success of the policies in the administration would speak for themselves. But people don't like it. So it looks like the Democrats are going to win the midterms. And so now they're doing the Nicki Minaj, Donald Trump campaign photo ops. But I think there's another thing. And they announced the Trump plan today, or the Trump accounts today. And let me ask you, they're selling this. They're selling you this idea that you need to invest in these accounts for your kids. And yeah, look, it could be a good idea. Could be a good concept. I think it's funny. So basically, the whole golden age thing is a total lie. Again, they wouldn't have to be doing this if we were in the golden age. They wouldn't have to be talking about 50-year mortgages. They wouldn't have to be talking about stopping the usury of the credit card companies, 30%, 40% interests. They wouldn't have to talk about these Trump accounts for the future of your kids so that they can have some money. If you were in the golden age, they wouldn't have to do any of this. So it just shows they know they're lying about the golden age. So the economy is bad, and they're trying to do something to address it. I find it funny. Our politicians, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle they're on. Our politicians will do anything, or they claim that they want to help you financially. They'll do anything to try to help you financially in the struggling economy. You're barely getting by. You're working 50 hours, 60 hours a week, 3, 4 jobs, weekends. Barely afford your mortgage. Can't afford to buy a house. All the normal stuff. They'll do anything to try to help you financially, except they won't stop stealing your money and calling it taxes. Isn't it amazing? It's the one thing. They'll come up with all kinds of crazy ideas and all kinds of crazy plans, and they'll tell you they're going to cancel this debt and everything else. They'll say it all. They'll say it all because they want to help. But the one thing they'll never do is stop stealing our money and calling it taxes. They'll just never do it. They'll never do it. They won't cut the foreign aid. They won't stop the waste, fraud, and abuse of government spending. It's all fake. It's all fake. Are you going to invest in a Trump account? You know what I think about when I see this stuff? You know what I think? I think Trump coin. I think Melania coin. I think here's another rug pull. Here's another scam. Here's another way for them to just plunder and make them all rich while you continue to get poorer. Separating the haves from the have-nots even further than they already are. That's what I think. That's what I see. I can't help it. Call me a skeptic. Call me black-pilled. I really don't care. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. And I also think maybe Trump himself, maybe members of the administration, they've kind of reached the conclusion that the country's done. There is no country. There's an idea of a country. There's a flag. There's an idea of borders. Sometimes they're secured. Sometimes they're not. There's an idea of a structure of laws, but there's no justice. There's really no country. 40 trillion in debt. So I feel like Trump, maybe his family, some members of the administration, I feel like they've accepted there is no America. There is no country. The country's done. The people are slaves. The country's just corporate, foreign, and special interest, and that's basically what you get. So they're just plundering as much money as they possibly can before the country totally collapses. And maybe they're trying to collapse it. Why do you think, I forget the number, it's like 20% of dollars have been printed in the last 10 years. And of course, Trump is president for half of those years. 20% of U.S. dollars, it's about that number. I don't know the exact number. 20% of U.S. dollars printed in the last 10 years. You know what they're doing. They're printing the fake money. They're making sure it gets funneled back into their own bank accounts, and then they're buying assets. They're buying assets that will maintain value, whether it's a dollar or any fiat currency or cryptocurrency or precious metal. It doesn't matter. That's an asset. It will hold value. It could be a company, data center, processing center, chip manufacturing, land, resources. Why do you think Donald Trump just took all this oil from Venezuela, sold it, and put it in a private bank account in Qatar? Oh, yeah. Why do you think they just established this board of peace and Jared Kushner is running it, and they're taking millions and millions of dollars for people that want to become members? Where is the money going? Who gets the money? Where does the money go? Who spends it? They're just literally printing all the money, giving it away, funneling it back to themselves, and buying as many assets as they possibly can. Which doesn't matter whether it's a dollar, a yuan. It doesn't matter. Gold, silver, it has a value. It's an asset. That's what they're doing. So you can say, survival of the fittest. Okay, Trump realizes everything's going down, so why not become president, bring all your friends in, make sure everybody's going to be taken care of, and let the country collapse? But it seems like that's what's going on. But let's just look for the logical consistencies here. If Joe Biden stole oil from Venezuela, sold it, and put it in a private bank account in Qatar, what do you think Republicans would be saying? Do you think MAGA, do you think Trump voters would sit there and watch Joe Biden sell Venezuelan oil and put it in a private bank account overseas and be totally cool with it? Do you think that'd be okay, MAGA? What if Joe Biden's son started a board of peace and was taking millions and millions of dollars in payments to become a member of the board of peace and get that access and get that favored geopolitical agenda? Do you think people would be okay if Joe Biden's son was taking in millions on the board of peace? Do you think people would be okay if Joe Biden was selling foreign oil and putting it in a private bank account in a foreign country? Do you think MAGA would be okay with that? I'm just looking for some consistency. Would MAGA be okay with all of that, guys? What if there were right-wing protests and Joe Biden had federal agents out on the streets and they killed people? Of course, we know MAGA wouldn't be okay with that. What if Joe Biden came out and told the media, you can't bring a gun, you can't carry a gun? How do you think MAGA would feel about that? How do you think Trump supporters would feel if Joe Biden stood in front of the White House and said, you can't have a gun, you can't carry a gun, you're a bad guy, that's a bad thing? How do you think MAGA would feel about that? Or what if Joe Biden decided he was going to bring, or Kamala Harris, what if they decided they were going to bring Meg the Stallion? They were going to bring Meg the Stallion to the White House to talk about how great Joe Biden is and the Biden accounts were, and Meg Stallion was up there telling you how great it was, and she's Biden's #1 fan. How do you think MAGA would feel about that? And, you know, I have the chat open today, and I see the people, oh, you sound like a liberal. Hey, whatever. I really don't care what you label me. Answer the question. Answer the question. Label me whatever you want. I don't give a damn. In case you haven't figured it out yet, I was raised by Stone Cold Steve Austin and Limp Bizkit. You think I give a damn? You think I give a rat's ass what you call me? Answer the damn question. How would MAGA feel? Just answer the question. No, you don't want to answer the question because the question exposes you, not me. I'm not the one getting exposed here. So answer the question. Call me whatever you want. I don't give a damn. And see, and that's what's so funny about this whole thing. All the new MAGA people that probably like George Bush, all the new MAGA people that were not with Trump in 2015, 2016, and 2017, you guys have no idea what we went through. You have no idea what we went through. You don't have a clue the attacks, the physical attacks, the smear campaigns, the character assassinations, the censorship, the lawsuits, the prison time. You guys don't have a damn clue. You think I give a rat's ass the name calling? Get lost. Answer the damn question. If Joe Biden told you in front of the White House, you can't bring guns, you're bad, how would you feel? If Joe Biden brought Meg the Stallion to the White House to promote the Biden accounts, how would you feel? Answer the question. If Joe Biden took oil from Venezuela, sold it, and put it in a private bank account in Qatar, how would you feel? If Hunter Biden was running the Board of Peace and selling $1 million memberships to gain geopolitical access and favor, how would you feel? How would you feel? Answer the question. Call me whatever you want. I don't give a damn. Answer the question. How would you feel? If logic cannot be applied universally, it's not logic, it's propaganda. You're no better than the left. You're no better than the liberal. So they got to throw you some red meat. They got to throw you some red meat. So here's your red meat for the day. FBI agents search election hub in Fulton County, Georgia. Agents were seen entering Fulton County election hub and operating center. Now, for those that don't know, Fulton County, Georgia, Atlanta, one of the two Atlanta counties, you could say. This is where one of the biggest steals of the 2020 election took place. And in case you're not familiar, the two biggest incidents, let's say, there was a fake water main break. So they shut down some tabulation centers, some of the biggest tabulation centers in Atlanta. Fake water main break, they shut them down. Then, because there were cameras rolling, and I guess if you're dumb enough to steal an election, you're dumb enough to do it on camera, but they got away with it for the most part. A couple of the individuals that did it got caught and charged. So the fake water main break, they shut down the tabulation centers. We see them go back in. They take out these massive boxes of ballots, and they're just stuffing them through the machine 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And it's just a numbers game. If you've got a box of ballots that you know is 60% Biden, 40% Trump, and you just run them 4, 5, 6 times, then you're expanding the Biden lead. So this is just one of the major incidents of a stolen election in 2020. So, okay, the FBI is going in. Agents were seen entering the Fulton County Election Hub and Operation Center, a new facility that state officials opened in 2023 that was designed to streamline their election process. So this isn't even the one where it was stolen. This isn't even the famous one where we watched them commit the crime. This is not even the same center where we watched them when the room was empty, pull out the boxes and start running the same votes over and over and over and over and over. It's not even the same center. So what are they even doing? It was not immediately clear what the FBI agents were investigating, but Fox News Digital is told the probe is related to the 2020 election. The Bureau said in a statement that FBI Atlanta was executing a court-authorized law enforcement action at 5600 Campbellton Fairburn Road. Our investigation into this matter is ongoing, so there are no details that we can provide at the moment, the Bureau said. They did not provide further comment. So, folks, I don't want a black pill. I'm not a black pill person. I'm really not. I love life. I really love life. I'm a very enjoyable person to be around. I'm a lover. I don't want a black pill, but I'm a realist. I tell the truth. I call it as I see it. To me, this is red meat. To me, this is red meat to the MAGA base that is disenfranchised. To me, this is red meat to the Trump voters that are considering sitting out the midterms. So they want to show you they're doing something. They want to show you that, oh, something's happening. We're investigating things. We hear you about the 2020 election. And I would just ask you this. So you already saw it's not even the same place where they stole it. It's a brand new center. Because, you know, that's what they do when they commit crimes. They like to hide the crime scene. They like to destroy the crime scene. You know, like what they did at Utah Valley University. Oh, you know how they do. So they're not even going to the crime scene. So let me just ask. Look, I hope this administration does something about the stolen election. It has to be done. They stole an election. Trump knows it. We all know it. We've seen the evidence. We've seen the proof. Folks, I did a like an 18-state tour. Some of you were probably there. We did like an 18-state tour, and I did a whole presentation of the graphs and the line graphs and the voter fraud and the vote Viagra. It was like a concert tour. And then Trump did the exact same presentation from the White House that I did. So we know what happened. So why are you doing it now? Why didn't you do it in 2020? If you're going to raid these election centers and investigate a stolen election, why didn't you do it then? Now, I have a new theory. I think Trump decided that he wanted to leave the White House because he knew the damage done to the economy from the COVID policies were going to cause massive inflation, massive devaluation, and permanent economic damage. So I think Trump wanted to get out. And it was probably a 50-50 thing. If the opportunity provided, he probably would have stuck around. I don't think he was running from D.C., but I also don't think he was too inclined to stay. I think he saw it as an opportunity, and he said, well, the economy's about to collapse. We're about to have hyperinflation. The economy is about to be a disaster because of all these COVID policies. So I might as well step away, let Biden endure this, and then come back. We'll blame it all on Biden, and I'll say how great things are. And that's exactly what happened. So why now? Why didn't you do this in 2020 when it was happening and we all witnessed it? Why are you doing it now? I think it's red meat. Now, I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love to come on air in a month, in a year, whatever, and say, wow, they really exposed the election fraud. They really exposed the 2020 election. We're going to get arrests. We're going to make sure it never happens again. I will be as happy as anybody. But that's not how I see it. You know, fool me once, shame on you type thing. But, you know, it's so funny, too. It's so funny, too, watching people. It's like, again, all the new MAGA people that love to attack on social media when you don't just praise Trump 24/7, when you're not shining Trump's boots and wiping Trump's ass. All the new MAGA cult members that love to attack you. It's really just hilarious. It's like, dude, I don't remember you out there in 2020. I don't remember you having 3 straight Stop the Steal rallies in Washington, D.C. I don't remember you doing an 18-state tour. I don't remember seeing you in the courtroom. I don't remember seeing you in the federal prison. I don't remember hearing about you getting sued. I don't remember hearing about you getting censored. But you're the tough guy. You're the tough guy. You're the real political tough guy. Okay. So I just think it's red meat. I think it's red meat to make you think that they're doing something about the stolen election because they hear the complaints. They hear the complaints and they see the disenfranchisement. That's how I see it. Now, Trump has come out last night and he said he had a great conversation with Mayor Fry in Minnesota. Isn't that funny? Well, apparently it's not so good now. So he calls Mayor Fry and they say, oh, we're going to de-escalate. You guys are going to cooperate. We're going to do the deportations. And then less than 24 hours later, apparently it goes bad. Shocking, I know. Trump says he's shocked. Surprisingly, Mayor Jacob Frey just stated that Minneapolis does not and will not enforce federal immigration laws. This is after having had a very good conversation with him. Could somebody in his inner sanctum please explain that this statement is a very serious violation of the law and that he is playing with fire? Really? Really, President Trump? President Trump just said Mayor Frey is breaking the law. So why haven't you arrested him? I'm so sick of this crap, man. I got to tell you, folks, I'm so fed up. I'm just so fed up with this administration. It's just a joke. I'm sorry. I know. It's just, you are literally the president of the United States. You just said that the mayor broke the law. So why aren't you arresting him? I just don't get it. Fine. They don't want to cooperate with ICE? Fine. Cut off their funding. He wants to be a sanctuary city and break the law? Fine. Arrest him. What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh. Hey, we got Nicki Minaj with her fat ass and fake boobs at the White House today. I mean, do I even have to say it, guys? Can I just say it at least one time? Bimbo! And hey, I like Nicki Minaj, okay? This isn't about Nicki Minaj. And I got a whole Nicki Minaj segment today, but it's just like, here we go again. Here we go again. Hey, this Democrat mayor is breaking the law. Okay, are you going to arrest him? No, I'm going to go hold hands with Nicki Minaj. You can stop all of this. You can stop all of this. Cut off the federal funding and arrest the sanctuary city mayors. This is not a serious administration. They're serious about 2 things. They're serious about Israel getting everything that Israel wants, and they're serious about the donor class and the special interest getting more rich than any of us can ever imagine. That's all they're serious about. Hey, if we're winning and things are going our way and the economy, and, you know, maybe the economy is getting a little better. I don't know. It's a little better. No deep state arrests, no major reform, no Doge arrests, no massive cuts to foreign aid and welfare. There's more foreign aid. There's more welfare. So this is, what are we doing? So it's like, hey, I'd be okay. Hey, Nicki Minaj, hey, that's great. Hey, another day at the White House with all the millionaires and billionaires getting rich. Hey, that's all great. I'd be celebrating. I'd say, hey, we're all winning. We got the deep state arrest. We've solved the election problems. All right, and here's the people that are with us and supporting this. We're going to keep the momentum going. Okay, hey, great. But we're not getting that. And so you'll have what is this, the fourth, the fifth gathering of the millionaires and billionaires at the White House? Where's the January 6th political prisoner gathering? Where are the people that literally got tortured in prison for supporting Donald Trump? When do they get to go to the White House and have a fancy dinner? The people that were put in solitary confinement, the people that were tortured and beaten and starved, had their lives ruined, missed the death of parents, missed the birth of children, the people that actually suffered, are they going to get the big banquet? Maybe when we get the new Trump hall, or maybe when we get the new Trump expansion to the White House, maybe then the people that actually suffered for supporting Trump, maybe then they can get their day. But I don't know. They don't have millions of dollars, so they can't donate and give the rich people more money. So I don't know. Oh, I'm stunned. I'm stunned, guys, that Mayor Frey, I'm stunned. And then Trump says he's breaking the law. So arrest him. What are we doing? Go arrest him yourself. Go arrest him yourself. Fly to Minnesota. Get out there with the U.S. Marshals. Go to the mayor's office and arrest him. Put him in cuffs. Take him into federal custody. Say, you have broken the law. You are aiding and abetting in criminals, and you are interfering with federal law enforcement. You're going to prison. Go arrest him. No, I know. We don't have time. We're busy courting the millionaires and the billionaires at the White House. I know, guys. So here's what they're up to, though.
Power to the people. No one is illegal. 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 Power to the people. No one is illegal.
So they have gone into the Hilton Hotel, where I guess the ICE agents are staying during these operations. They've gone into the Hilton. They're doing this protest. So, I mean, it's up to Hilton, I guess, whether they want to do trespassing or not. But notice they've all got the nice signs. They've all got the nice shirts. Somebody organized this. Somebody funded this. Guys, I think Pam Bondi might need our help. So we should actually be kind. We should be nice to Pam. So let's try to say this slowly for Pam Bondi, who's really struggling right now. She's overwhelmed. She doesn't know what to do. So let's just say this very slowly for Pam Bondi. Hi, Pam. Hi. You talked about last year. See, if I talk in the NPR voice, maybe Pam Bondi can comprehend. Hi, Pam. Last year, you said that you were going to investigate and shut down these leftist organizations that are funding and organizing these protests, specifically ones that disrupt law enforcement and cause violence towards American civilians. Well, Pam, we haven't really seen much movement in that investigation. So here's one for you. Notice that these people all have brand new signs and T-shirts, and they're all organized, and somebody told them to be at the Hilton Hotel. Those are all signs that this is well-funded and well-organized, Pam. So you might want to start an investigation there. Thank you for your attention to this matter, Pam. Maybe that one will get through. Now, this is crazy. I don't even know. I feel like somebody's doing this intentionally, and they can rig Google search algorithms, because there's just no way that this continues to happen and this is real. There's just no way. So it's another one of these claims. Alex Preddy is apparently, his name is getting searched on Google in Israel the morning before he gets killed. So these are Google search inquiries the morning that Preddy was killed. And so he gets the timestamp he gets killed would be right here. So this is just too weird. There's no way, right? I mean, there's just no way that every major incident, there's some search ping in Israel. I think somebody has to be rigging with it and messing with us. There might have been one that was real, or maybe a couple that were real. Now, I think somebody's just messing with us now. I don't think that can be but this is the weirdness that gets around, because nothing makes sense, so people believe anything. So then there was the Ilhan Omar incident last night, and I was on air when this happened. So I'm a little late to the party last night on the Ilhan Omar squirt. Hee hee, ha ha, ho ho. So I was a little late to the Ilhan Omar squirt, but my first instinct was, this is fake. This is staged. And I don't know. I don't think we know yet. I got a couple stories here we'll cover. But it was my first instinct. And then I go online and I see everybody else has the same first instinct, including Trump. Trump got asked about it and he said, oh, no, she probably staged it. Something along those lines. So we all thought the same thing. Now, I got to say this. The reason I thought it was staged is, if you watch the video, I'm sure you have, after the spritz happens, whatever is in that syringe, after the spray of the juice, the apple juice or whatever it is, she starts charging at the guy. She charges at the guy and is about to punch him in the face. So that's why I thought it was fake. It's like, look, you have no idea what chemical that he potentially just sprayed on you. You have no idea what it is. And you can probably see he's got more of it right there. And you're going to charge at him? So I'm still skeptical. I'd say it was probably staged. But if it wasn't staged, she went in, she tried to punch the guy. Hey, if we saw one of ours do that, we'd be giving them a hat tip. We would, let's be honest. If we saw a Republican do that, we'd be saying, hey, that's pretty impressive stuff. So she went after him. She was going to punch him. But yeah, I'd say it's likely it was staged. Now, there is an investigation. I'll get to that in a second. It's hard to decipher what's real with this stuff. But people were able to scrub some of his social media. Apparently, this is his family. He obviously has leftist daughters or sons, or, I don't know. It's hard to tell these days. I'm not really sure exactly, actually, when I'm looking at this here. But it appears that there's definitely leftism in the family. Some people are claiming that he had some falling out with the family and maybe he blamed that on Omar. I don't know. It's all very weird. Who knows if we'll ever get any answers as far as that is concerned. But here's what's going to be interesting to me. I think this is the telltale sign. And this gets back to what I was saying yesterday about why this is happening in Minnesota. So Mike Davis here from the Article 3 Project. So the man who squirted Ilhan Omar, Anthony James Kazmierczak, is being held on third-degree assault charges. Now, I haven't heard anything about the liquid, so I'm assuming it was apple juice or something. If it was something serious, then we probably would have heard about it. So it's probably just some juice. So Mike Davis here. State third-degree assault charges. Attacking a member of Congress is a federal crime. The Justice Department must fully investigate this attack. The FBI must interview the suspect along with obtaining a material statement of fact from Ilana Omar, no one is above the law. Now, so this is where it gets interesting to me. If they try to house this case in the state and they don't want the feds getting involved here, despite there being federal charges involved, or potentially there should be federal charges involved. I don't know why there wouldn't be, and I anticipate the Trump administration will push for this. If they try to house this in the state and box out a federal investigation, then right there, that's the sign it was a staged deal. Right there. That to me is the sign that they staged this deal. And, who knows what goes on in secret? Who knows what goes on behind the scenes? But they'll make sure that he gets as favorable of an outcome as possible. Whereas if the feds come in, then they're going to make sure he probably gets as big of a charge as they can get. Anybody that knows how the feds work, it's like they're going to get their conviction. And the judge is going to get the prisons filled. That's how the system works. So if they try to box this out from the feds, to me, that screams that it was a setup. And it goes back to what I was talking about yesterday. Why is all of this happening in Minnesota? And I said, maybe it's because the Democrats have such a stranglehold on the political ecosystem in Minnesota that they just feel the most confident that this is where they can commit their crimes. So whether it's fraud, whether it's disrupting law enforcement or staging an attack, they feel confident that they have control over the mechanisms in the state of Minnesota to kind of keep everything under wraps, keep everything smooth and operating, whether it's fraud, disruption, a staged attack. They feel confident that they have the best corrupt political infrastructure in Minnesota, and that's why all of this happens in Minnesota. So I think watching how the charges get handled is going to be very indicative about, okay, this is why everything happens in Minnesota. It's because it's just one of the most corrupt states in the country. The Democrats have corrupted Minnesota more than any other state in the country. That's saying a lot. Isn't it? That is saying a lot. All right. We're going to come back and look at the Trump accounts story here. And hey, Nicki Minaj, we're celebrating Nicki Minaj today. So you can't properly celebrate Nicki Minaj without celebrating her assets, right? I mean, let's do this the right way. It's one of her strongest traits. If it's not rapping about, sex and male members, she makes sure that you can see her very nice assets. So we'll be reviewing all of that. We'll hear from Scott Bessent. I think we'll hear from Caroline Levitt on this. And we'll hear from Nikki herself, the queen. She's Queen Nikki now. We're going to be hearing all of that. We'll be diving into that here in just a minute. So it seems every day. It was in the news again today. I'm sure you're seeing it and hearing it. And quite frankly, folks, there is a rush. There is a rush. Our friends at Allegiance Gold, folks, there is a massive gold rush happening right now. It's pretty insane. People are definitely kind of having an extreme reaction to seeing the gold go up, the silver go up. Maybe it's a fear of missing out. Maybe it's the realization that the dollar is collapsing. They don't want to hold on to dollars anymore. They don't want to have money in their bank account. They're afraid of bank runs. They want gold. They want silver. It's appreciating in value. Maybe it hasn't even reached its peak yet. So because of all these different phenomenons, people are rushing into gold. It's kind of a gold rush. It's kind of the 2026 gold rush, you might even say. But this is why we've partnered with Allegiance Gold. You can go to protectwithowen.com and make the switch today. But here's what they want to emphasize, and here's what I want to emphasize. You want to be educated. You want to be educated before you make these decisions, before you make these investments, especially if we're talking about your savings, 401k, IRA, moving a bunch of money into precious metals. You want to be educated. You want to understand it. And they want you to be educated. They want you to give them a call. 844-790-9191. 844-790-9191. Or go to protectwithowen.com. Now, right now, they've been offering this deal for months, but boy, oh boy, it's a lot less than it once was. $5,000 in free gold and silver with qualified investments. $5,000 in free gold and silver with qualified investments. I'd have to pull it up, but I don't have the chart in front of me. But you're now looking at the weight is about half of what it was when they originally started this deal. That's crazy. And so I think there's a lot of fear of missing out happening here, folks. But a lot of people are rushing into gold. It's a smart decision. I think you've been proven right. If you got ahead of the curve, you've definitely been proven right. Allegiance Gold has been around for nearly a decade, trusted by over 7,000 clients nationwide. Relationship-driven, A+ with the Better Business Bureau. And they're serious. They want you to call them. They want you to be educated before you make a decision. 844-790-9191 or go to protectwithowen.com. Protect your wealth because no one else will.
You're listening to the Owen Report on the Win Network.
You found your political compass, the Owen Report.
All right, it looks like we've got some breaking news here. And I think we can put this all together. There's a video that has just surfaced and is going viral here. And it does appear to be, I guess we can't say it's confirmed, but I'd say it's a pretty safe conclusion to reach that this video is of Pretty. Because here's the deal. Here's the situation. And it lines up with the timeline of events. But Pretty had already been involved in a skirmish with ICE and had apparently suffered a broken rib. So this wasn't even the first time that Pretty had been in a skirmish with ICE. And apparently this is the video. This is just surfaced right now. Steve Guest just shared it or about an hour or so ago. Here's the caption. Footage of a man who looks like Alex Pretty with a gun in his waistband. Now the gun in this most recent incident was apparently on his back. Spitting on and attacking federal law enforcement officers and kicking the taillight of their vehicle on January 13th. Bombshell report from the BBC. Important context, Pretty was not a peaceful protester. So, So just like Renee Good, she gets involved with a law enforcement vehicle, and she loses. But let's go ahead and watch this video.
This is a moment the news movement filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Pretty interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him.
What an idiot.
Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97% degree of accuracy.
So I'd say, 97% is probably about right in the confidence level that this is Pretty. I mean, you can make up your own mind. There's a good side profile. I'm assuming that we'll probably get confirmation from somebody inside the Trump administration on this. I doubt it would be Trump himself, but somebody probably would. Maybe Noam. Or, when Noam is done pointing guns at ICE agents and, doing dress up. Maybe Caroline Leavitt. But somebody will probably confirm or address this pretty soon, I would imagine. But again, for context here, because I don't know if this is in the report, I'm just seeing this video. It was confirmed that Pretty did have a prior skirmish with ICE, and it looks like this is it now. We found the video of it. That Pretty did have a prior skirmish with ICE where he did apparently suffer a cracked rib. Now, if this is indeed the incident, I'll withhold until the end of this video. But if this indeed documents the incident, folks, forget about Pretty, quite frankly. He's dead. He played a stupid game. He won a stupid prize. But, if this is indeed Pretty, folks, again, we have to be honest about what's going on here. But let's just watch this video, and I'll tell you what I'm thinking.
Appears to be Alex Pretty interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him. Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97% degree of accuracy. On the morning of January 13th, our team received a tip that federal agents were blocking a street at the corner of East 36 and Park Avenue in Minneapolis. We arrived around 10:15 a.m. We saw observers shouting at the agents as they walked back to their vehicles. When they started driving...
I believe that was a spit. I believe this guy does a spit. Oh, boy. Who's famous for spitting on people?
10:15 a.m. We saw observers...
That's a spit. That's a spit, right? That's a spit. Yeah, he spit.
We saw observers shouting at the agents as they walked back to their vehicles. When they started driving away, the man kicked their taillight. An agent then got out of the vehicle, grabbed him, and pushed him to the ground.
Now he's resisting. Now he's resisting arrest. Hold on a second. Did we capture... can we see where the gun is here? It doesn't look like the gun is on his back here. That's where it was the day he got shot. Where do you think he suffers the broken rib? Do you think he's about to take a knee here? Is that where the broken rib comes in?
During the altercation, agents fired tear gas and pepper balls into the crowd.
Imagine, look, hey, you want to go out there and protest? Okay. How can you defend this? This jackass just committed multiple crimes, literally, right there, and you're going to defend him? It's like, I don't even want to deal with these people. Why are we still dealing with these people? I'll tell you why. Because Pam Bondi is incompetent.
They continued to hold the man down before they retreat, and he walks away.
So he's still resisting arrest for another crime. So how many crimes have we seen committed here? He spits on federal agents, crime 1. He commits a crime by doing damage to a vehicle, crime number 2. Now he's resisting arrest, crime number 3.
The man in our footage is wearing a similar
What do you expect law enforcement to do? He just committed 3 crimes.
outfit to what Preddy was wearing on the day he was killed. What appears to be a gun is also visible.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, you just saw it. Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's pretty likely that it's him. So now he's also probably committed a 4th crime, running from law enforcement now. So how many crimes have we witnessed in this 60 seconds?
Gun is also visible above his waistband. Here, he continues to stand at the scene. On the day he was killed, the Department of Homeland Security claims Preddy, a 37-year-old ICU nurse, approached officers holding a handgun. That claim has been contradicted by analysis of bystander videos from multiple news investigations, which concluded that Preddy was holding a phone, not a gun, when he was pinned to the street.
And by the way, that is true. I'd say that that's pretty conclusive with the video evidence. His gun was holstered. They disarmed him. And that thing in his hand is clearly a phone. I mean, the footage is rather grainy, but I mean, it's a phone. I don't know what else, you would be holding that looks like a rectangle like this. So I would say it's pretty clear that he was holding a phone, and that was the object that was flying around when he was getting arrested. Now, look, I don't really know. I don't know if this will impact the other investigation. I don't know. I'm sure the federal agent's defense is going to be, hey, this guy's, a known troublemaker or whatever. I don't know if that really helps them when you shoot an unarmed man. I don't know if that really helps them. But I'm sure it'll come up.
Phone, not a gun, when he was pinned to the street.
Still standing there.
Shortly after the altercation we filmed here on January 13th, federal agents drove away. Soon after that, we left the scene.
All right. Let me pull that down for a second. Let me just step back. I'm glad this video is surfacing now, because I was already thinking about this before the show, but now it gives me the opportunity to actually get into it. Look, folks, we all have our political opinions, and we all have our opinions about what happened during that incident, the incident where he gets shot. I always say this to my friends. I say, forget about the details. The details really don't even matter. They'll matter in the courtroom, but all that really is going to matter is the result. That's really all that matters. Don't get lost in the details. It just becomes this whirlwind. But take a step back, folks. Just take a step back and just observe from a neutral standpoint. Can't you see what is happening here, folks? We are being divided and conquered. We are being divided and conquered. That's what this is. And both sides are playing their roles perfectly. Okay. I'm not going to play my role in their little game to divide and conquer and collapse the country. I don't do that. That ain't going to happen here. I'm not going to play the fake left-right paradigm, play your role, pick your side, and be a part of the divide and conquer. Not going to do it. But that is so obvious what is going on. This is so clearly a divide and conquer campaign that is happening right now. Above all of it, above the noise, above the deportation. I mean, come on, guys. We know better than this. Bring in the Democrats. They open the border. Bring in all the illegals. Bring in the Republicans. Now they got to deport them. Send in ICE. Send in the AI surveillance grid. Cause the chaos in the streets. Send out the protests. Boom. 2 people die. Come on, man. None of this is organic. None of this is organic. It's all by design. We are all being divided and conquered, folks. So, hey, whatever you think, whatever your political opinion is, Preddy deserved it, Preddy didn't deserve it. We're being divided and conquered. This is our country under attack. This is all by design. All right. So we see this video now. This is stunning to me. You know, I think that this is the problem. And obviously this is not an easy thing to deal with. But it's like, if you're the Trump administration now, you have to make up your mind. You're either gonna call it off or you're gonna go all the way. That's it. You obviously can't play the middle road here. You can't do the middle road. You have to either go all the way, Greg Bovino style, and they'll point out, oh, the mistakes he made and all this other stuff. He was trying to do a job, so they had to get rid of him. No, so you can't play it. It's too hard. You either have to say, fine, Democrats, fine. Destroy your states. Have all the illegals. We're cutting off your funding. You guys do your own thing. No more federal funding. We're out. We're done. Enjoy. And just let them collapse their states, folks. Just let them collapse their states. Because this isn't going to get any better. And so, but I'm watching this video. How is this man not arrested? How is he able to get away from ICE agents and stand there and not get arrested after committing at least 3 crimes by my count? Huh. What? Folks, I got arrested for holding a sign in the Capitol. I got arrested for speaking during a hearing for less than 60 seconds. How does this guy not get arrested for committing at least 3 crimes? He shouldn't have been out on the streets again. He should not have been out on the streets again in Minnesota to get shot and killed. He should have been in jail. He shouldn't have been able to go out there and get himself killed. He should have been in jail. How is he not arrested here? It's just pathetic. So people always talk about solutions. I've given the solutions. Arrest the sanctuary city mayors. Cut off federal aid to any of these states that aren't cooperating. And tell Pam Bondi to shut these things down, to go after the organizers, go after the funders, go after their infrastructure, and shut them down. Get them off the streets. Tell me, how do all of these protesters know where to be every time ICE is about to go a deportation operation? Tell me how. How do they all know where to go? Who's giving them the intel? What is the infrastructure? What is the messaging system? What is the transportation mechanism? How do they know to go to the hotel where ICE agents are at? How do they know this stuff? Who's communicating? Who's buying the signs? Who's buying the T-shirts? Yeah, Pam Bondi is to blame. Sorry, it's true. And because Pam Bondi is so incompetent and she can't get these people off the streets, now 2 of them are dead. And you're looking at investigations, and these ICE agents might be in trouble. We can support ICE and want the deportations as much as anybody else, But the fact is, 2 unarmed protesters got shot and killed. That is the fact. And you can say it was justified, but that is still the fact. And now you have ICE agents. Their lives could be ruined. The ICE agents that killed Preddy, the ICE agent that killed Good, their lives could be ruined now. Because their boss, Pam Bondi, and Kristi Noem can't do their job. And we're sending these agents into blue territories where they stand down local law enforcement and organize and fund these disruption operations, and nobody from this administration does something about it. And by the way, this is why you're hearing the stories about ICE agents being so pissed off at leadership, because they've been put in a position to fail. And now you're looking at ICE agents whose lives could be ruined because their leadership did not do their job, and they have to go out there and deal with protesters. Preddy should have been in jail. He committed at least 3 crimes a week prior to getting himself killed. He should have been in jail. Are you kidding me? What do you think would happen to you if you spit on a police officer, busted the taillight off of their car, and then resisted arrest in a matter of 60 seconds? What do you think would happen to you? Preddy shouldn't even been out there in Minnesota. He should have been in jail. He should have been, at the very least, on a probation, a house arrest. This is clown world stuff. And again, back to the whole divide and conquer. They're going out and they're hiring as many ICE agents as they can. And so you've got these ICE agents. You've probably got far-right ICE agents that just want to bash a liberal's head in. You've probably got far-right ICE agents that just want to go out there and, deport a Mexican. You know that these people are being hired. You know this is happening. So, yeah, what do you think? You got a bunch of crazed leftists. You got a bunch of progressive liberals out here blowing whistles and banging bongos and hitting cowbells and cursing at them and spitting at them and kicking them. And now, they got the green light. I get to bash a lib. I get to smoke a lib. It's all divide and conquer. And this is all bad leadership, folks. So you can deny it as much as you want, but that's the truth. This is bad leadership, and this is divide and conquer. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if there starts to be ICE strikes. I'm dead serious. They shouldn't have to put up with this. I should actually probably go on strike. I should go on strike and say, look, here's the deal. We're here to do a job. We're here to do deportations. We're not out here to deal with protesters, okay? That's not our job. And now we have to go through these protesters and deal with all of this and hope that we can even make an arrest or a deportation. Like, we don't even know if we're going to be able to pull it off because of this. So we're going on strike until Pam Bondi, the DOJ, can clear the streets, or the Trump administration can get local law enforcement to work with us to clear the streets so that we can do the deportations. And until that happens, we're done. We're striking. No more operations. At least in Minnesota. At least in Minnesota. I mean, it sounds like they're having success in most other states. So at least in Minnesota, I'd strike. If I was ICE, I'd say, we're done. We're not going back to Minnesota. We're done. The agent that killed Good, who knows what the outcome for his life is going to be? The agents that shot Preddy, their lives could be ruined. Who knows what their outcome is going to be? Why would you do it? Why would you take your life into your hands now if you're an ICE agent and you know you're not getting anything from local law enforcement? You're not getting anything from the administration? I'd say we're done. If I was ICE, I'd strike in Minnesota. I'd say I'm out. You want us to go into Minnesota? Then tell Pam Bondi to shut down these left-wing groups that are organizing and funding this to disrupt us. Tell them to clean up the streets. Tell the Trump administration to get law enforcement to cooperate with us, or we're done. We're not risking our lives here anymore. We're done. We got hired to deport illegal alien criminals, and we're getting no help. And now we're putting our lives in danger. So we're out. We're done. We're not going into Minnesota. Nope, not happening. This is outrageous. Preddy should have been in jail. 3 instances on this one video. 3 crimes at least. And he didn't get arrested. And then he goes back out and does it again. And then he gets shot. Jeez. What a disaster. That's all right, guys. I think I can cheer you up. We just need to get some Nicki Minaj, you know? But you're going to have to be patient. We're going to have to be patient. Because, so this is all about the new Trump accounts. You know, this is, Trump is a genius at marketing, and it really works with MAGA. It's like all Trump has to do is put his name on it, and they just love it. They just eat it up like slop, like pigs at the trough. If it was Biden accounts, they'd hate it. If it was Clinton accounts, by the way, this was Hillary Clinton's idea. She's the one that came up with this idea years ago. Enjoy that little factoid. But now that it's Trump, it's great. So here's Scott Bessent briefly explaining the Trump accounts.
We've got business leaders, we've got philanthropists, we've got companies that are going to talk about contributing to the Trump accounts. And today, we want to raise the profile. We want all Americans to start signing up. So just this week, since the start of filing season with the IRS, we have had 600,000 families out of an estimated 25 million already fill out Form 4547.
So people are signing up.
Are you going to sign up? Or is this another rug pull? Is this another Trump coin? Is this another Melania coin? It's all the big marketing campaign. I got to be honest, folks. I don't trust it. I got to be honest. I don't trust it. I don't like it. I don't trust it. It's more government. It's bigger government. It's more Trump branding. It's more Social Security type stuff. I just don't like it. So here's Nicki Minaj, though. She's the star. She's the belle of the ball. She's the queen of the day.
Hello. Well, I don't know what to say, but I will say that I am.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what to say. Yeah, you clearly really care about this stuff, you know? You clearly really care about this stuff. You really care about politics. You really have an informed political opinion that here the president gives you the podium, the presidential podium, and you say, I don't know what to say. I'm moved. I'm starstruck.
Probably the president's #1 fan.
She knows how to butter him up. She wants in on the grift.
And that's not going to change. And
let's see about that. Let's see if that doesn't change.
The hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him.
Congratulations. I wonder if you would have survived 2015 and 2016.
More. And it's going to motivate all of us to support him more. We're not going to let them get away with bullying him and, the smear campaigns. It's not going to work. Okay? He has a lot of...
Hey, babe. This is 2026. This ain't 2016 anymore. You're 10 years late to the party. Trump is the establishment now. He's the keynote speaker at the World Economic Forum. He's endorsed by all the Republicans. He runs with AIPAC and Marian Adelson. He is the establishment now. What is this? There's no anti-establishment. What do you mean, the hate? Stop it. This is politics as usual. We're right back to neocon Republican politics as usual. There's no hate. What are you talking about? But see, this is what it is. And this is why it's, to me, it's revealing, I would say. Trump realizes he doesn't need the people from 2015, 2016, and 2017. He doesn't need us anymore. He's replaced us. He's replaced his loyal fighters. He's replaced you with Nicki Minaj. He's got new supporters now. He's got new fans now. He doesn't need you. You've been used up, tossed aside. He doesn't want you.
Force behind him, and God is protecting him. Amen.
Yeah, I'm sure. Wow. Wow. And then you have TPUSA promoting this now. You know, because Charlie was such a big fan of Nicki Minaj, remember? Remember how he talked about how he couldn't wait for Nicki Minaj to join Republican Party politics and get on stage at TPUSA events? Oh, yeah, he said the opposite. That's right. But Erica wanted to interview him, or interview her, so it's all good now. And the White House wants you to know Barb's baby's getting the bag. This is an official post from the White House, and I have no idea what this means. I think if I can translate this from whatever new age ebonics this is, I guess this means Nicki Minaj is going to get a lot of money. Right? That's what it is. Nicki Minaj is going to get a lot of money. Oh, and look at that. She has an album coming out in March. Hey, I like Nicki Minaj's music, so I'll probably check that out. But Barb's baby's getting the bag. So in other words, Nicki Minaj is going to make a bunch of money off of this deal for her kids like everybody else. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I'm sorry. It's just hilarious. Here's Nicki Minaj and Donald Trump holding hands. She's got like the, what do you think? Are these like 3-inch, 4-inch nail extensions that she's got going here? How do you wipe your ass with that? Maybe she has somebody wipe her ass for her. How do you do that? But she's got a big fake butt anyway, so she's got multiple issues. Somebody has to do that. That's like a job, right? I'm serious. Does Nicki Minaj have to hire somebody to wipe her ass with the long nails and the big fake butt? Like, does somebody have to? Honestly, you might need a whole team. You might need a whole team for that job. That's probably a multi-person job. I mean, somebody's got to get in there and, kind of, move things around, and then somebody's got to actually do the work. Do you have to have a specialized toilet when you've got such a big fake butt too? Do you need is there a specialized custom toilet that you have to have for such a large derriere? So that's not, and the makeup, the makeup on Trump's hand too. They could do a better job with the makeup. I feel like they don't really hide it well. So, let's check out Nicki Minaj. Here's a scene from one of her recent concerts, mocking what appears to be mocking the Catholic Church. So that's good. Let's see here. Let's check out some album artwork from Nicki Minaj. There you go. That's nice. This is a song about male members. This is an entire song about how much she likes male members that resemble anacondas. So that's good. That's very conservative stuff. We're featuring her. Or maybe you preferred her album cover, Queen, where she is pretty much naked with her fake breasts out. Maybe you preferred that one. Maybe that's what we like now in the conservative movement. Look, all right. All criticism aside, like I said, I actually like Nicki Minaj's music. I think that, she came out against the COVID vaccines when it was dangerous to do so. She has a bit of a track record of kind of going against the grain. So this isn't a bash on Nicki. All right. Let me just be clear. This isn't some bash on Nicki Minaj. And to a certain degree, I do think part of the problem that Republican politics has had is that they're viewed as very uncool and lame because they don't embrace, let's say, celebrity culture like the left does. But here's my problem. The Republican Party does nothing for us. So what do I give a damn? What do I give a damn if Nicki Minaj is endorsing Republican Party politics or not? They do nothing for us. And this is all Nicki Minaj wanting to get some more airtime to sell records, sell her new album. And maybe they even cut some deals behind the scenes. She's part of a Trump campaign for the midterms. But it's this, and I don't want, please do not misinterpret this, because I can already tell people will misinterpret this. Please do not misinterpret this. This is not about me. So let's just say I was never a January 6th prisoner. Let's just say I've never dealt with any political persecution in my life. Okay? Let's just I want to make this very clear. Let's say for this conversation, I've never dealt with any political persecution, never put in prison, any of that. Let's say I've never even supported Trump. Okay? This is not about me. I don't like the fact that this administration is not doing what needs to be done to save the country. And they're throwing all of their long-term, most ardent supporters who went through hell to support Donald Trump for 10 years. And they'll bring up Nicki Minaj, no problem. They'll throw you under the bus if you talk about the Epstein files. They'll throw you under the bus if you don't agree with foreign policy. They'll completely ignore you if you don't have millions of dollars to go to one of these lavish events. But they'll bring up Nicki Minaj and celebrate her and promote her and use her as a marketing campaign for the midterms and tweet about her and everything else. What are we doing? What are we doing? It ain't working for me. It ain't working for conservatives either. I'll tell you that. So I don't know who this is aimed at. I don't know who it's aimed at, but it ain't working for conservatives. Conservatives aren't interested in this. And if you're so desperate that you need to parade Nicki Minaj around, that's because you're not fulfilling policy mandates. That's how I see it. So it is funny, and I do have Caroline Levitt talking about this. But so, you know, Nicki Minaj gets celebrated and promoted, and Rand Paul gets attacked, and Thomas Massie gets attacked. Here's what Rand Paul is doing. I filed an amendment. This is from Senator Rand Paul. I filed an amendment that would defund the over $5 billion in taxpayer money that is devoted to welfare for refugees that is in the minibus spending bill. If my amendment doesn't pass, your tax dollars may be spent to provide refugees with cash handouts, health care benefits, daycare for their kids, free education, and employment training with job placement. This amendment will be germane to the spending bill, meaning it can be adopted by a simple majority of the Senate. In other words, if, and it's a big if Republicans remain unified in protecting your tax dollars, the amendment can pass without a single Democrat vote. I will bet every single dollar I have the Republicans do not pass this amendment. And watch. And watch MAGA say nothing. Watch the Trump administration say nothing. Oh, we're against fraud. We're against welfare. No, you're not. You're sheeple. You do exactly as you're told. And here's Rand Paul, who's like the only real conservative. There's maybe 5 or 10 real conservatives in Congress. Rand Paul is one of them, and Trump attacks him relentlessly. And we parade Nicki Minaj out, but here's Rand Paul actually trying to follow through with policy that's supported by the American people, actually trying to deliver conservative legislation, and he gets attacked. And let's watch what the Republicans do. I will bet everything they won't pass this. I will bet everything that Republicans will keep the $5 billion for refugee welfare in the minibus bill. It's almost a guarantee. And what's MAGA going to say? Rand Paul, he's a liberal. He's a Democrat. He's not conservative. Unbelievable. All right, one more thing on the Trump accounts. Let's just go to this. Here's Caroline Levitt explaining it. Tell me what this sounds like to you guys. Tell me what this explanation of the Trump accounts sound like by Caroline Levitt here.
So I will be signing up my daughter for a Trump account. What perfect timing, am I right? But this initiative, I would encourage everyone, if they have not.
I'm sorry. It's all marketing. It's just all a giant marketing campaign. Here's the administration. We're using the entire force of DC saying, go sign up for a Trump account. Folks, this is Obamacare all over again. I'm sorry. I'll shut up. Here you go.
So I will be signing up my daughter for a Trump account. What perfect timing, am I right? But this initiative, I would encourage everyone, if they have not, and I would encourage the media in the back as well, to please take a look and cover trumpaccounts.gov. This is the way that families across the country can learn more and can actually sign up for the accounts. And I know the Department of Treasury and the IRS have worked incredibly hard to upscale their web design and website to ensure that this is as easy and accessible as possible. I'm blown away by the website. I tweeted it out on my own account this morning because I really think it's important for people to see how easy this initiative and accessible it is. The website design is just beautiful. It's forward looking. It's futuristic. It's as easy as an app on your iPhone, to make it really simple for parents who, to Cheryl's point, are so busy, and filing taxes for many is, it can be a headache, but this is something to really look forward to. And so for families with children and newborns who are eligible for that $1,000 really startup bonus, that seed in the account to get this investment started, it's an incredible thing that so many parents across the country can take advantage of now. And even if your child was born outside of the eligibility years, you can still sign up for an account at any time, and you can start that seed fund with your own investment. I also just want to point out how incredible this initiative is because it brings the private sector and the federal government together.
That is literally the definition of fascism. Just so you know. Hey, if you like it, that's fine. Let's just be honest. We're merging the private sector and the public sector. We're merging the billionaires and the federal government. Folks, that is literal fascism. That is economic fascism. So you can like this and maybe it works out. Hey, if something works, if an aspect of fascism works, then fine. Hey, we'll celebrate it. Good. Let's hope it works. We're small government conservatives. We're small government Republicans. We are sick of government corruption and government involved in our lives. So here's a big government program of us merging with the private sector and boosting the stock market.
Which is something President Trump does best. He is a businessman at heart. He is running the federal government like it's a company, trying very hard to, cutting through the bureaucracy and the waste and the fraud. And this program, this initiative is an example of seeing philanthropists and businessmen and women and entrepreneurs come together with those at the highest level of government.
Hey, running the country like a business, I'm not inherently against that or offended by that. And, maybe that's a better approach to running it like a charity, like we have been for years. But who's benefiting? Who's reaping the benefits? Who's reaping the profits now?
To do what's right for American families. So also big thank you to Michael Dell and his wonderful wife and the Dell family who have been just a huge part of this, and all of the other successful Americans and companies who have generously donated.
And she's got her little note card there. So this is what it looks like to me. In fact, I'll pull it up on the screen. We'll go ahead and show you what this is. My interpretation. Okay. Here's your TrumpAccounts.gov website. All right. Jumpstart the American dream. We're building long-term financial security for millions of children by creating tax advantage investment accounts for U.S. citizens under the age of 18. Tax advantaged investment accounts. So I'm guessing that you're not going to be charged taxes for capital gains. I'm assuming that that's what this means. So they say, okay, here's your Trump account, and you got your money in here, and it shows you stocks. Oh, look, you got half of a Caterpillar stock. You got a NVIDIA stock. You got a Tesla stock. I wonder what these companies paid to have their names up there. So basically, it's just a stock account. It's like Robinhood or anything else. But they say, I guess it's tax free, and they'll give you $1,000 for every newborn as of last January. So they'll give you $1,000 to start this with, and then you can add $5,000. Your max addition is $5,000 annually here. And then these numbers, they're making them up. Let's just be honest. They're making these numbers up. There's no way you can guarantee any of this. What if the stock market collapses? See, look right here in the fine print. There it is. Estimates are for illustration only and are based on an account opening at birth with $1,000 opening deposit and are derived from historical S&P averages. Actual results may differ and are not guaranteed. Oh my gosh. You know what, guys? You know what this looks like to me? This is Trump using the power of the White House to boost the stock market. That's what this is. And maybe it will. Maybe it will. Probably will, actually. I'm sure that the stock market will take a boost when you're pouring government money into it. It's all fake money anyway. Folks, this is just a stock market pump. This is just Trump stroking all of his friends in the stock market. That's all it is. And they say right on the site, these numbers are made up. Nothing is guaranteed. If the stock market collapses, you get nothing. Is this another rug pull? Is this another rug pull? Hey, we got the Trump accounts. Look, there's this money in there for you. And then the stock market collapses and it's gone. Hey, we told you nothing was guaranteed. Unbelievable. Well, the good news is if you're in the market today, it's probably up. In fact, I know the market was up today. I haven't checked since I went live. Let's see. You're about neutral. It looks like we're about neutral in the market today. Some up, some down. Oh. Old Schroyer's account's looking good today. So, hey, yeah. Yeah, bet on the stocks for now because Trump is pumping them, folks. Trump is pumping the stocks. That's all this is. It's just fascist stock market pumping is what this is. And maybe you can come out a winner. Maybe you can come out a winner. Maybe this deal lasts for 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. Do you really think we're going to even have a country in 20 years at this rate? That's what I'm telling you, folks. I think they've all realized there is no country. I think they've all realized America's done. So now they're just making different game plans to steal and launder and loot and pillage and plunder as much money out of the system as they can so that they can pour it back into their assets. Anyway, yeah, maybe just get into precious metals, folks. Melania was, she opened the stock market today. And then she went on Fox News, and she is promoting her new movie. You know, I don't know I don't know who to trust as far as these reports are concerned. I mean, you can go online and check, I guess. But they're saying there are no ticket sales for the Melania movie. I was actually surprised. That's why I'm not sure if I trust that. Melania is pretty popular. I think people like Melania, but I don't know. I guess maybe there's no interest in watching a documentary about Melania Trump. But apparently the reports are that the ticket sales are not moving. And maybe that's why she's at the stock market and on Fox News. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I don't have a problem with Melania. I don't know if I have any interest in seeing the movie. But yes, here's Trump bragging about it. Folks, this is the rich person administration. Just be honest. The S&P 500 just hit 7,000 for the first time ever. America is back. Hey, how many people listening? I got the chat open. How many people right now in the chat? How many of you are invested in the S&P 500? How many of you have stock in the S&P 500? How many of you benefit from the stock market every day? How many? What do you think is a fair guess? Like maybe half of Americans? Do you think 50% of Americans are benefiting from the stock market? So I'm seeing you, some of you got your 401k. Some of you got a couple $1,000s. Looks like it's about 50-50. Looks like it's about a 50-50. I'd say probably 50. 50% of America has interest in the S&P 500. But yeah, you need money. You need money to make money in the stock market. That's the problem. They say, oh, what's an average return? It's like if you're making 10%, then you're doing good. That's kind of like what a broker will tell you. It's like, we're shooting for 10%. Well, if you have 1,000 and you make 10% on 1,000, well, you're making $100. That's not really moving anybody. To me, folks, this is just a fascistic stock market pump for Trump and his rich friends. And I would say it's a 50-50 shot that anybody will actually benefit from these Trump accounts. I'd say it's a 50-50 shot. And that might be high. In fact, no, I'm going to go 49. I'm going to go 49% shot. I'm going to say the odds are not in your favor. If this goes anything like the Trump coin and the Melania coin, then you're going to get rug pulled. And why wouldn't they rug pull you? They got more money coming into the stock market right now. And now they're going to inject more money into the stock market via a fascistic administration agenda to pump money into the stock market with these Trump accounts. And so the stocks are going to keep going up. And then you know what happens? The people that own 90% of the stocks, the billionaires, they're going to sell everything. And they're all going to do it on the same day. And there's going to be a huge collapse. And your Trump account ain't going to be worth crap. I'm sorry, guys. Let's do equal coverage. These Trump accounts are great. You're all going to get rich. Every single person that buys the Trump account, you guys are going to be filthy rich. And all you got to do is put $5,000 in there every day. And even though you really only have a couple shares of these stocks, this is all about you. Not about the billionaires that have 10,000 shares. Not about the billionaires that have 10,000 shares of 100 different stocks. This is all about you that have 10 shares of 10 different stocks. You guys are totally going to win. This is all about you guys winning. You're going to be rich. The Trump accounts are going to make you rich. This is totally not fascism at all. the government working with the private sector to pump up the stock market. We're all going to get rich, folks. Trump has figured it out. We're all going to get rich. This is going to make all of us rich. This is not about the donor class. This is not about the billionaire class. This is not about Wall Street. This is about you. This is all about you, guys. Congratulations. So not sick of winning, guys. So not sick of winning with you guys. Ted Cruz. I love the double standards on the expose here. We should be arming the protesters in Iran now. Well, I bet you we are. I bet you we already are. Through all the weapons that got laundered out of Afghanistan, through all the weapons that got laundered into through Ukraine, all the weapons we send Israel that they're arming them with. For the Iranian people to overthrow the Ayatollah, a tyrant who routinely chants death to America, would make America much, much safer. Well, okay, you chant death to him, so yeah, what do you expect? I don't even care. I don't want to be involved in Iran. Let him overthrow him. I don't want to be involved. I'm sick of this. But isn't this funny? Oh, we need to arm the protesters in Iran, but protesters in America can't have a firearm. I mean, it's like they say this stuff out loud. By the way, here's your Republicans. You guys know about the Dignity Act that Mike Lawler and Salazar and Escobar, the Dignity Act? They want to make millions of illegal alien citizens with the Dignity Act. Mm-hmm. You know, because they're big business donors. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's go to Tim Burchett here as we're closing out the second hour. Tim Burchett, he discovered a massive fraud operation, money laundering operation in D.C. and Congress. The members of Congress buy federal buildings and then rent them back to the government. This is nuts.
Marjorie Taylor Greene had us in there in a building that was basically empty. That was the people that were supposed to be overseeing our real estate. And I asked the question, are members of Congress owning real estate? And the guys that are being rented to the federal government in Washington, D.C. And the guy said, yeah, they are. And it stopped right there. Nothing. And that should have been the beginning of it. And that's where I'm going to be a little different. I'm going to be on the front end of it. It's not going to be sexy, and hopefully the screaming will be back and forth because that's just the nature of politics. But we're going to eliminate that, and we're going to eliminate the corruption that has infiltrated our committee system.
You are, as DOJ chairman, going to pick up the ball and continue the work when it comes to what seems like a massive scandal, which are big federal buildings owned by members of Congress that are leased out to the federal government. I mean, private buildings owned by members of Congress leased back to the federal government.
Yeah.
And so that's like the snake eating its tail, right?
That is the tip of the iceberg. That just shows you my frustration with this thing. I mean, anywhere you look, it's we've got to not be the shotgun approach, because that's where we'll be neutralized. We got to focus in on just a few things. The first thing, I think we'll have something around IRS time. What's the big complaint with the IRS, outside of the fact they're stealing your money, is that you can't ever get to them. Their technology.
Yeah. The complaint against the IRS is that the IRS exists. That's our complaint.
It's not intermingled. I found out that through government duplication, I've got a chart. It's just the craziest looking thing. And it shows, and my staff has uncovered basically over $1 trillion of just simple duplication within these departments that nobody is willing to tackle. It's not sexy, but we're going to tackle it. And we're going to show it to the American public, and hopefully they'll back us when we go to change the structure of government. And that is the tip of the iceberg. That just shows you my frustration with this thing. I mean, anywhere you look, we've got to not be the shotgun approach, because that's where we'll be neutralized. We got to focus in on just a few things. The first thing, I think we'll have something around IRS time. What's the big complaint with the IRS, outside of the fact they're stealing your money, is that you can't ever get to them. Their technology is not intermingled. I found out that
How about we just abolish the IRS? How about we audit the Fed? How about we audit Fort Knox? You know, the stuff we talked about, we used to celebrate, MAGA used to like, and now they don't anymore. Just an idea. Just an idea. Hey, let's pile drive before we hit the second hour break here. White biologist sues Cornell alleging illegal race-based hiring. You don't say. An evolutionary biologist at that filed a lawsuit against Cornell University this week that alleges the Ivy League school used unlawful race-based hiring practices and intentionally discriminated against qualified candidates by refusing to consider white people. Yeah, the entire college system, the entire administrative level of business, the entire executive level of industry, they all discriminated against white people. So that'll be fun to watch. Hey, here's some good news for the country. U.S. steel production surpasses Japan for the first time since 1999 amid tariffs. There was that big steel deal with Nippon. U.S. crude steel output increased to 3.1% in 2025 to 82 million tons. Yeah, we need to produce more steel. That is good for America. The best steel. There's good news. This one, maybe not so much. Amazon is laying off 16,000 employees as AI battle intensifies. Well, they're laying them off and replacing them with AI is what's happening. Amazon laying off 16,000 employees, the company's second round of large-scale job reductions in 3 months as it fights to improve its standing in the battle for AI supremacy. So they're replacing, I believe the number is just shy of 30,000 workers with AI. And, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, it is free market capitalism. There's a reason why Amazon is successful. There's a reason. And you say, well, you hurt the mom and pops. You hurt the middle class. And so all of these things are true. But it'd be one thing if you could at least, you know, all right, well, Amazon crushed our local economy. Amazon crushed our middle class. But it'd be one thing, it's like, at least I can go there, get a job with benefits. You know, I can go there, get a job, you know, get insurance and at least have a job at the local factory. Oh, not anymore. Now the AI and the illegal aliens and the H-1B visas are replacing the American worker. So you don't even get that. MAGA, baby, golden age. Latin Kings gang member found not guilty by Chicago jury after putting a $10,000 bounty on Border Patrol leader Greg Bovino. Those words do not indicate that this was a joke. Those words have meaning. They are not innocent and harmless words. Well, I think this pretty much shows. So, in other words, the Latin Kings gang was able to get to the jury and make sure that they did not find the gang, the gang member guilty for putting out a bounty on Greg Bovino. And the administration, silent.
You're listening to the Owen Report on the Win Network.
All right, guys, you know it. You know my favorite coffee. If you don't know it by now, you just haven't been listening. You haven't been listening to the show. Our favorite coffee, Blackout Coffee. And we always have to tell you about the premium instant coffee. It's the best instant coffee you're ever going to try. And really, it's not even close. And right now, our friends at blackoutcoffee.com/Owen have a sale going on. 15% off 1 box, 20% off 2 boxes, 25% off 3 boxes, and 30% off 4 boxes of their premium instant coffee. Let's say you're at a business or maybe your house and people really like drinking coffee. They really like drinking coffee, but you don't always want to deal with the process. You don't always want to deal with the process of getting the filter and either grounding it up or putting it in and getting the water and then the pot and then cleaning it up. It's just, we're just sick of it. Just don't want to deal with it. Here's your solution. Here's your answer. Premium instant coffee, blackoutcoffee.com/Owen. Huge sale happening right now. If you have a business filled with coffee drinkers, I guarantee you 4 boxes of the instant coffee, it'll be gone like that. It'll be gone like that because it tastes great. It's instant coffee right there in a small packet. Put it in, put the hot water in, stir it up. You got yourself a hot mug of premium instant coffee from blackoutcoffee.com/Owen. Now, they, of course, have like 30 different flavors of the single pods. So if you like single pods, they got options for you there. They got tons of different bags, whole bean or ground up, light roast, medium roast, dark roast, all kinds of options. The official mug here, this is the mug of the Owen Report. It matches the gold aesthetic of the show. We do like gold. You can also get this at blackoutcoffee.com/Owen. But they want you to try the premium instant coffee because you'll become a repeat customer with the instant coffee alone. That's how good it is. The best instant coffee on the market. I don't even think anything else is close. I've never tasted an instant coffee where you drink it and you're like, oh, that tastes like coffee. Watered down, sour, not good. The premium instant coffee from blackoutcoffee.com, good luck, because you probably can't even tell the difference. So take advantage of this sale right now. blackoutcoffee.com/Owen.
No one can stop this. 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 No one can stop this.
He's called the Babe Ruth of political talk and analysis. It's the Owen Report with Owen Schroyer.
Hey, guys. After record fundraising in the aftermath of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, Erica Kirk has announced today that Turning Point USA will be matching investments into the Trump accounts. They will be matching the investments. I'm not going to berate this. I'm avoiding this topic like the plague. But I'll just say it again. Folks, if the Biden administration was doing this, every single MAGA person would be complaining. Every single one. Let's just be honest. Just be honest. If the Biden administration had Biden accounts and they were going to boost the stock market and they had all their left-wing donors boosting into it too, every single MAGA person would be complaining. Just be honest. Just be honest about it. It's okay if you want to like it and support it, and maybe it turns out good, but let's just be honest. Don't lie to yourselves. So anyway. Social media. Did you guys hear about this? Tech giants head to landmark U.S. trial over social media addiction claims. There was that whistleblower. I think he was from Facebook. There was another one from Google, but they talked about how the companies want to get you addicted. And of course they do. Of course they do. And I would say, I mean, I don't even deny it. I am definitely addicted to media. And this is a choice I make with the amount of media I consume. I've reached a point in my life now where I'm so addicted to consuming media that one screen is not enough for me. As you can see, this is this is my studio setup here. I'm monitoring all the news, but I have a very similar setup in my living room. It's kind of overwhelming for normal people. For a normal person, they see my living room setup, where actually there are technically 6 monitors in my living room setup, but that's because one of the screens I've dubbed like this. One of the screens in my living room is like this with the 4 screens, with the split screens, and then I have a computer screen and another screen. So for normal people, that's very overwhelming. I scroll on X way too much. Scroll on X before I go to bed. Scroll on X before I get out of bed. So I've accepted my social media addiction. Of course they want to make you addicted, and they rig the algorithm to do it. But they're in court over these claims. Meta, YouTube, and TikTok accused of making products intentionally addictive and harmful to young people. So I guess that's the angle here, is with the young people. I'm a full-grown adult, okay? I'm a 36-year-old man. I am making the decision to become addicted to consuming media. And it's part of my job, so I guess that's how I justify it. But for the first time, a huge group of parents, teens, and school districts is taking on the world's most powerful social media companies in open court, accusing the tech giants of intentionally designing their products to be addictive. The blockbuster legal proceedings may see multiple CEOs, including Meta's Mark Zuckerberg, face harsh questioning. This is going to be a revealing thing, but it's kind of like, I mean, how can they deny that they do that? It's like you want to have a product that makes people want to use it. It's going to be interesting. A long-awaited series of trials kicks off in Los Angeles Superior Court on Tuesday. So it has begun, in which hundreds of U.S. families will allege Meta, Snap, is that Snapchat, I'm guessing? Yeah. TikTok and YouTube's platforms harm children. Again, this is going to be interesting to watch. I don't really like the concept here, though, because to me, this is on the parents. It's like the war on drugs, which is undoubtedly a failure. Don't tell me the war on drugs has been a success, because it's still going on. But it's just like the war on drugs. And I saw Patel. It's really just, it's just cringe. It's just pure cringe. We arrested the El Chapo. We arrested the biggest drug dealer. I don't give a damn. Why do I care? The only reason drug dealers exist is because you made drugs illegal. The only reason drug dealers or drug gangs are dangerous and criminal is because you guys launched a war against them. The war on drugs has been a massive failure. You haven't stopped the drugs. You haven't stopped people from using drugs. It's a disaster. But, we got the modern day El Chapo. He's bragging about it like I give a damn. By the way, there was this story, I think we covered it yesterday, the cybersecurity CEO in Israel, and he got caught with multiple minors, statutory rape, and he gets 10 years in prison. And that's in Israel, so I don't know much about the Israel justice system. In America, they treat drug dealers more harshly than they treat pedophiles. You will get more time in jail, and you'll start at a medium security prison for selling weed, but not for raping kids. Oh, I'd love to hear people challenge me on this. Oh, here goes Owen with the legalized drugs. Every single logical conclusion will tell you that is the answer. Drugs are deadly. Okay, so we need to regulate them. Well, what about the fentanyl? So we need to regulate them. It's like, don't you understand? If you want to try to have this logical debate about the war on drugs, you realize there is no direction you can go that you win the debate. There's not one. And look, I know kids disobey their parents. I don't live in La La Land. The only reason there's a black market of dangerous drugs and laced drugs is because they're illegal. It's the only reason. But I get back to the social media thing, and it's like, hey, look, this is kind of on parents. If you don't want your kids using social media, if you want them to know about the dangers of it, then that's, you have to be a parent. Doesn't mean it's easy. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear the debate on why you support the war on drugs. Bring it on. I will open up the phone lines for you. I will open up the phone lines to hear why you support the war on drugs. I can't wait. It's cost the American taxpayer billions of dollars, and you haven't stopped a single damn drug. Tell me what drug has been stopped by the war on drugs. Tell me what drug Americans are no longer consuming. Tell me what drug I cannot get access to right now because of the war on drugs. In fact, they have lost the war on drugs so badly that weed is now legal in, I think, most states. And let's be clear here, because I think this is where you get confused. Just because I support legalizing drugs or decriminalizing or de-illegalizing, forgive the double negative, I'm not telling you to use drugs. I'm not promoting drug use. I say the opposite. I say the exact opposite. Don't use drugs. And that I find it funny, and this is because somebody decided to lie about me. I've been passing drug tests since high school. I've been literally passing drug tests for 20 years. I have never failed a drug test in my life. I got drug tested in high school. I got drug tested in college. I've been drug tested for years when I was on probation since 2020 or 19, whatever it was. I have literally never failed a drug test, okay? So pipe down about that. Just because I say legalize drugs doesn't mean I promote drug use. The war on drugs has failed. It has been deadly. By the way, the CIA deals drugs. Oh, yeah, you're going to come after me. Oh, the war on drugs. The CIA moves drugs. The CIA sells cocaine. The CIA pushes drugs into the inner cities. It's a joke. Anyway, TikTok settled, by the way. TikTok settles social media addiction lawsuit ahead of trial against Meta and YouTube. Yeah, that's pretty revealing, I would say, of TikTok, where there's a lot of skepticism on what's going on there. And, I was thinking about getting rid of the account or shutting it down, or at least maybe posting a video and saying, this is why I'm no longer putting content on TikTok. Apparently, they've seen hundreds of thousands of uninstalls since it got taken over by the Israeli lobby. So I would kind of like to be a part of that protest. So we're thinking about that. And then I know there's a new thing. It's up scroll or something like that. So TikTok settled, though. So that's basically TikTok saying, yeah, we make it addictive. So just here, take our money. Okay. That's fine. They got plenty of it. But here's up scrolled. apparently doing pretty well. And this is all a result of the TikTok takeover by the Israeli lobby. Everybody's going and downloading Upscrolled because they don't censor on behalf of the Israeli lobby. And it is top apps in multiple stores here, as you can see. Upscrolled updating you there. Oh, have you guys been experiencing this, by the way? Because I don't actually use TikTok. But I talked to my the social media girl earlier. I was like, should we get rid of TikTok? She was like, no, I don't think it's time yet. Well, let's see what happens. So I don't really use TikTok. I don't know what goes on there. I see some of the stuff that makes its way onto X like this. Have you guys been experiencing this, though? Because you got to be skeptical of anything. But apparently now when you search stuff on TikTok, the first thing that pops up is Israel, no matter what you search. Look at search. You search Oracle. It's the first thing that pops up. So what is that? That's pure propaganda right there, folks. That is pure propaganda. Hey, this is actually pretty cool, though. I hate smartwatches. I don't think you'll ever see me with a smartwatch, by the way. But I will say this is pretty cool. Apple in talks with SpaceX to add Starlink direct to cell to iPhone 18 Pro. The information reports Apple is negotiating with SpaceX to integrate Starlink satellite connectivity to the 2026 iPhone 18 Pro models. This is going to enable direct-to-cell service with no additional hardware, providing coverage in remote areas where traditional networks don't reach. Now, here's what first of all, I think this tech is very interesting. And Starlink is pretty incredible. Now, aside from just this story as a development, we've heard that there's been rumors, there's been rumblings that maybe Musk was thinking about starting his own cell phone company. And obviously Starlink would be a major factor in that. So I wonder if this isn't also him kind of saying, okay, I don't need to make cell phones. We can just make a deal with Apple. Because I feel like if Musk was going to go into the cell phone game, that he would want to keep that technology proprietary as far as a cell phone Starlink connection. So the fact that he's considering working with Apple tells me maybe the Elon getting involved in the cell phone game is maybe he's sidelining that or not interested anymore. All right, let's get into the geopolitics here. Trump made this post this morning. A massive armada is headed to Iran. It is moving quickly with great power, enthusiasm, and purpose. It is a larger fleet headed by the great aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln than that sent to Venezuela. So it's the same fleet that was just at Venezuela that captured Maduro. Like with Venezuela, it is ready, willing, and able to rapidly fulfill its mission with speed and violence if necessary. Hopefully, Iran will quickly come to the table and negotiate a fair and equitable deal. No nuclear weapons, one that is good for all parties. Time is running out. It is truly of the essence. As I told Iran once before, make a deal. They didn't, and there was Operation Midnight Hammer, a major destruction of Iran. Well, apparently not. The next attack will be far worse. Don't make that happen again. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So they will attack again. Yeah, there will definitely be an attack on Iran, and we all know who that's for. That's not for you. That's not for the American people. That's not for the MAGA voter base. That's all for Israel. So just in case there was any confusion. And then do you recall the lady that they wanted to replace Maduro with? Machado came out and she said, because she's a big, she works for Israel. And she said, once I get in power, we'll be pro-Israel again. And then we're going to do regime change in Honduras and make them pro-Israel again. Well, it looks like that's happened. Check this out. Minutes after being sworn in as president of Honduras, Tito Asfora received the credentials of Israel's ambassador. So it didn't even take an hour before he pledged loyalty to Israel. And that's why the Bolsonaros are all pledging loyalty to Israel right now, too. But it's weird. We can't figure out where there's any, influence or power in politics. We just can't figure it out. There's no clues. There's no signs. There's no evidence. It's not obvious. It's very subtle. It's very nuanced. So we just have no idea. We have no idea where the foreign influence comes from. We're searching. We're trying to figure it out. But we're just not there yet. We just don't know. Here's Keir Starmer lands in Beijing to boost trade ties with China. So that's just directly in the face of Trump. Keir Starmer has arrived in Beijing for a high-profile visit to China, vowing there will be no more ice age. So in other words, they're opening up business with China, and they're going to give Trump the middle finger, is what that means. Here's the BBC's headline. China trip will bring benefits to UK, Starmer insists, ahead of Xi Jinping meeting. Trump is supposed to meet with Xi Jinping not too long, I'm pretty sure. Starmer's there for a 3-day visit, the first by a British prime minister in 8 years. So again, this is them giving the middle finger to Trump and saying, fine, we'll do business with China instead of America, which it didn't really bother me. But it's just a larger trade war here developing. We go to Australia. Former police officer charged over alleged role in satanic child abuse ring, suspended from NSW government job. Whoa. An award-winning former NSW police officer faces child abuse material charges in a case involving devastating videos of infants and children. It's amazing how people like that get into power, or maybe it's not a coincidence. Oh, look, there he is with the gay pride flag. Yeah. Yeah. So let's go to a citizen of Australia to break this down. This is Alex Saunders enlightening us on this pretty shocking case.
High-ranking Australian police officer arrested as part of an international satanic pedophile network. Here we go again. Sergeant David Turner was 2022 Rotary Officer of the Year, and I'll get to why that Rotary connection is important in just a sec. But police seized a number of electronic devices and drugs from his home. The charges include accessing and distributing not only kiddie material, but bestiality too. But the most disturbing part, these videos included infants, and the police described them as particularly devastating, using symbols and rituals in the abuse material. You guys have got no idea how sick these people are and what really happens behind closed doors. So that Rotary connection, Rotary, founded by the Freemasons, there's a lot of overlap in their membership, and there's always these connections to youth clubs, charities, churches, somewhere where they can procure these children for the network. So he was also active in radio, think personalities like Alan Jones over the years. And as I've been saying on YouTube and the podcast for a couple of years now, guys, it's these high-ranking police, politicians, judges, media personalities, and businessmen that are part of these secret societies behind closed doors. And the highest of them within these ranks are part of this international satanic pedophile network. And they use blackmail to control and run the world. Epstein, Diddy, this sort of stuff is just the tip of the iceberg. So I've been covering this in all the episodes. I've got some big guests coming up and whistleblowers. Make sure you're following Nuggets News, and we'll continue to cover all this as it finally comes to light.
Nuggets News, eh? Maybe we ought to reach out to old Nuggets News. Maybe we ought to schedule a talk, an interview with Nuggets News. And we were hoping the Trump administration would expose and really bring all that to its knees. Instead, he's telling you it's a hoax now. So that's fun. That's good. That's always fun, you know? It's always just great. Suspected terror infiltration determined false alarm was Jordanian border police operation. Now, folks, this is going to be really interesting. Follow me here. The red alert in Paran was the result of a Jordanian border police officers chasing criminals into Israeli territory. So Jordanian police, they got a criminal. They're on a car chase. They cross over the border. Israel has a emergency alert response. So listen to this. See if you can pick up where we're going here. The suspected terror infiltration near the Israel-Jordan border has been deemed a false alarm, the IDF said in a Tuesday evening statement. The infiltrators were identified as Jordanian border police officers chasing criminals into Israeli territory. Earlier in the evening, 10 suspects had been identified following their infiltration into southern Israel near the communities of Paran and Yehal in the Arava. Elite IDF units, as well as IAF jets and drones, were deployed to the area. Folks, the elite IDF units, jets, and drones were deployed to the area within minutes. Within minutes. Do you understand? Are you hearing this? Within minutes. So tell me, they were able to respond to this penetration of their border within minutes, but it took them 7 hours to stop Hamas that was coming in on paragliders and ATVs? Come on, guys. Are we going to pretend like there wasn't a stand down on October 7th? Are we really going to pretend that that wasn't a stand down? A police chase resulted in IDF, elite units, jets, and drones, a response within minutes. And they had that thing shut down and knew what was going on within an hour. But on October 7th, it took them 7 hours. There it is. There it is. Happening in Canada. This is in Alberta. Citizens in Alberta are demanding independence from Canada. And so here's the meeting. They're speaking Canadian, so we don't know what they're saying. But this is obviously a packed house. Looks like at least 10,000 people in this massive venue. And, there's been calls, make Alberta the 51st state, and maybe that'd be good. The good people of Alberta. Look like that guy had an American flag on. They'd probably support that. So, okay, that's one angle to take. The angle that I take when I see this, is, folks, everyone is sick of their government. Everyone. This is what we all have in common. This is the big unification factor. Whether you're in America, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in Iran, whether you're in Israel, everyone is sick of their government, folks. This is our big issue. This is our human issue. Our governments are evil. They're satanic. They're run by satanic cults. They're run by blackmail networks. They steal your money. They steal your future. They try to erase you off of this planet with chemical warfare, biological warfare. They start wars that they never fight in themselves. This is the answer. No matter where you go, everyone is sick of their government. No matter where you go, everybody is sick of their corrupt governments. They want free from their corrupt governments. That's the answer. It's the answer to everything. It's the most obvious answer. It's right in front of our face. And this is why they divide you with the left-right paradigm. And you could probably throw in the religious aspect, but we'll hold that aside and we'll just focus on the government aspect. And yes, sometimes they merge, but this is the answer to all of our problems. It's the government that lies to us. It's the government that poisons us. It's the government that sends us to war. It's the government that steals our money. No matter what country you're in, it's the government, except maybe El Salvador. Youngest leader on the planet, might have something to do with it. This is the big awakening. This is 1776 worldwide. This is the human revolution, realizing that government is inherently evil and against your human nature to be free. The big realization is that we don't need government. That's what 1776 was all about. Self-government, self-determination, minimalist government, local government if it's necessary. You want to unite the people of planet Earth? Let's all overthrow the government. Let's overthrow the corporate global government that they try to build. Let's overthrow our corrupt national governments that lie to us and poison us and send us to war for their own interests. That's the human revolution. That's the Great Awakening. We don't need government. We never have. We never will. It is inherently evil against the spirit of humanity. So anyway, this is where people are at in America. And I think that these calls are just going to get louder and louder, folks. These issues are not going to go away. And it's only going to be more Americans that start sounding like this as time goes by.
When is someone going to jail? I mean, no one's above the law, right? Except for 20 million illegal migrants, the Clintons, Comey, Letitia James, Gavin Newsom, that piece of shit, Tim Walz, Ilhan Omar, all of these insidiously evil people. They will get richer. They will get more powerful. They will do darker and darker. They will get bigger mansions. And you know why? Because no one gives a damn of a damn. We act like we do. Man, does that, righteous anger feel so good. Somebody's going to get them. Who? Who is the someone that's going to get these fucking people? I need to know.
Well, we were hoping that would be Trump, and that was the illusion of Trump, but I think it's pretty clear that it's not going to be Trump. And this is why it's so cringe now in right-wing politics. This is why the right wing has become so pathetic. They've become total cucks. They have been. They've become total cucks. They've become total bootlickers. They've become sheeple. They've become cult members because they look at the same problems we've been facing forever. But when the right people are in, when the Republicans are in, when Trump was in, they don't dare say anything. All of a sudden, speaking truth to power, they're not interested. They can't do it. That's why I get so frustrated watching this stuff with ICE or any of this stuff. And it's like, hey guys, you know it's the leadership that's the problem, right? It's like, oh no, it's the Trump administration. Oh no, everything's great now. It's not that now. It's the same problems. But we won't criticize Trump. We won't criticize Republicans. We won't criticize this administration. Yeah, that's because you're a bitch. That's because you're a cucked bitch. So you'll complain about the same stuff. Nothing will happen. You'll get no arrests. You might get a little bit better of an economy. There's things that you can point to and definitely is better. Inflation is cooled off. The border is secured. That's true. There's still more war. You're still living paycheck to paycheck, most Americans. It's still the haves and have-nots. It's the same people. It's the same problems. We can't even clear the streets. We can't even do deportations. We can't even arrest criminals. But you won't dare. You won't dare look at Republican leadership. Oh, no. You won't dare criticize the Trump administration. Oh, no. Why not? Why not? It's only going to get worse, by the way. It's only going to get worse because eventually, because you have to understand, you're listening to this. Maybe you've been listening to me for a while. Folks, we're just so far ahead of everybody else. That's just the truth. And maybe you do need to understand this. And it might kind of level some of the frustration. We have to understand that if you're listening to this and you think like me and talk like me, and this is just true. We're in the 1%, folks. We are in the 1% of the most politically informed people in the country. That is just a fact. You are in the top 1% of the most politically informed and understood people in the United States of America. So most people are way behind us, catching up to us. And that's okay because most people are still like us. They're just a little bit behind. And so I played the video of that woman because that's probably a perfect example. Like, just look at how far people have come with the debate over chemtrails. Look at how far people have come with the debate over the blackmailed pedophile networks. It's like now this is all common knowledge and accepted, where 10 years ago we were attacked and looked at like we were crazy people. So the more the Trump administration does not make 100 or 1,000 deep state arrests, the more the Trump administration doesn't, and Congress, you can say Congress too, the more they don't cut the foreign aid, they don't cut the welfare, they don't arrest people for the waste, fraud, and abuse, the more even people like that got behind Trump and thought he was going to be the one, the more they're going to look up every day and say, what the hell is going on? Why aren't there arrests? And eventually they're going to reach the same conclusion we've already reached, folks. That's just the truth. And that's why I don't hedge on this stuff. That's why I don't back down on this stuff, because I've done it for too long. I know eventually everybody gets here. I know eventually everybody gets to where I'm standing now. I probably won't be here when they reach that point, but I'm here now, and I know they will be too. That's how it's been for my entire career doing politics. And I was once behind. Let's be perfectly fair. Let's be honest. I was once behind. I was once completely illiterate and ignorant on all of this stuff. So I had to play a long game of catching up. But now we're here. Now we're at the front of the pack. So you kind of just ignore the propaganda, just plow through it, plow through the cultists, plow through the haters, plow through the Sunshine Patriots. Folks, they're not on your team. They're not going to have your back. They flee as soon as it gets uncomfortable for them. Don't worry about them. Most people are with us. Most people will be where we're at right now. It's just a matter of time. And then eventually those people that hate us now and talk trash on us now and, call us names now, eventually they'll catch up too, because then it'll be comfortable. Then it'll be cool. Kind of like with supporting Trump. None of them supported Trump in 2016. None of them were boots on the ground for Trump in the first go around. But now look at them. Now they're all waving the flag and everything else, and they're offended at you because you won't. So they'll eventually get here too. Don't worry. Don't worry. But yeah, I would just say, hey, the only person you can put your faith in is yourself. So act accordingly. Act accordingly. Now, you've probably seen this video, but every once in a while it's good. It's a good reminder. This was in the 1980s when they first started talking about seatbelt laws and they first started talking about DUI laws and child seat laws in the car. It's funny because we sit here now and we're like, well, yeah, obviously that stuff is good. But listen to what they said then, and let's see who ends up being right.
To restrict drinking and driving here is viewed by some as downright undemocratic.
It's kind of getting common is when a fella can't put in a hard day's work, put in 11, 12 hours a day, and then get in your truck and at least drink 1 or 2 beers.
They're making laws where you can't drink when you want to. You have to wear a seatbelt when you're driving. And pretty soon we're going to be communist country.
To restrict drinking and driving.
Here we are. Here we are. They were right. They were right. Really amazing, isn't it? Really amazing. So there is this crazy story. We keep seeing more of these, by the way. And I'm wondering, and somebody had a solution, or they had an answer as why they think we keep seeing more of these stories. It's these teachers, it's these older ladies that they try to make it with young kids. Here's this Florida woman, and they seem to be whatever's going on in Florida. It's happening in Florida a lot. 23-year-old Florida woman posed as a 14-year-old homeschool girl on Snapchat to sleep with multiple 12 to 15-year-old boys 30 plus times with just one victim. Yes, he's quite a victim here. He's 30 plus times a victim. Wow. She's back in cuffs after 4 more kids came forward. Predator, lock her up for life. I can read some of these comments. Yeah. Here's one. It's like, why do we keep hearing more about this? It's like this stuff pops up in the news, and why is it like we just keep hearing about this all the time? We didn't used to. So here's one conclusion. You know why you never heard these stories before 2001? The boys back then weren't gay pussy narcs. Look, this one is this is a little dicey, This is a little dicey. I think that there's no doubt this woman is a predator, okay? When you're posing as a 14-year-old and then, having sex with these young boys, you're a predator and you're going to get dealt with in the court system. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, come on. I think it's a little different when it's men preying on young girls. Do you think these boys, in fact, I would bet you that that at least however many boys there were, let's say there were 10. Let's say she was sleeping with 10 underage boys. I guarantee you probably 5 of them knew. I guarantee you eventually 5 of them found out. And I guarantee you they were going back to their friends and so let's just calm down. How do we feel about that one? This one is a little dicey. This one's a little controversial. But are we really going to sit here and pretend like that 15-year-old boy who would, who was probably trying to sleep with a girl is really a victim? Definitely a victim of being deceived and a predator finding them. Again, this is definitely a predator. She is a predator. Let's call it as it is. But I think we have to admit it's a little different. But this is the feminist age. How do we feel about that one, guys? How do we feel? Are the boys here?
Range from lewd or lascivious molestation with a victim aged 12 to 15 to transmission of child pornography by electronic device.
If you were a 15-year-old boy and you saw this on Snapchat and you thought you could get lucky with that, and you made a move to get lucky with that, you're a victim of something. But I think you're also probably considered pretty cool in your group of friends. Yeah, that was controversial. Which is more controversial, my take on drugs or my avoiding a real take on that one? Why is it, though, there's another cultural issue here. Why is it that this woman can't get with men her age? Is that really the thing? Is she really like a pedophile that is looking for minors? Is she into minors? Or she can't? It's not like 21-year-old men or men above 18 wouldn't be interested. No, she's a predator. She's going to be gone. She's going to be gone for a long time. Do you think her past lovers are going to visit her? That's like that story. That's My Boy, right? That's My Boy with Adam Sandler. Making a joke about that. All right. Everybody calm down. Everybody relax. We're not that invested, okay? Let's just calm down. And she's going to be gone for a long time, so don't worry. Don't worry. There won't be any young boys making it with her anymore, so it's okay. She's gone. She's away. All right, I want to play this highlight from last night in case you guys missed the debate last night. I have a little highlight for you. This is the end of it. This was the end of last night's debate. We're going to upload the full debate on the YouTube channel. So if you missed it, we're going to upload the full debate on the Owen Report YouTube channel if we haven't yet. But if you missed it, I want to show you this was the final blow, the final moment of it. And here you go.
So when I see 1 million dead Russian soldiers, that is a total American victory. The idea that Ukraine is going to lose the war, well,
no, you're disgusting. You celebrate dead people. That's just gross. That's why you like abortion. It's just gross. That's just detestable.
yeah, okay, thanks. I'm thrilled when I see dead. Okay, relax, buddy. I'm thrilled when I see dead Russian soldiers who invaded a sovereign country. I'm thrilled when I see dead Chinese Communist Party officials. I'm thrilled when I see dead Nazis. I'm thrilled when I see dead Islamists, because I, just like every single conservative, just like every single founding father.
About that, he'll see you dead and he'll call you any one of those things and he'll be thrilled that you're dead. There it is. The true colors coming out.
Again, I'm happy to have like a normal conversation, but if you're going to interrupt like a retard, then there's no point in having a debate, and I would encourage you to log off. I recognize the same thing that our founding fathers recognized. I recognize the same thing that every single conservative and Republican president has recognized, which is there is evil in this world, and there is only one way to deal with evil, and that is with the eradication of evil. So if you're an Islamist who flies planes in the Twin Towers, the only response to that is murder, is killing them so they cannot kill you.
9/11 narrative. Do you believe the official 9/11 narrative?
Adam, can we mute him? Otherwise, I'm logging off. It's very simple. Make a choice. All right, I'm out.
Address the Ukraine. Okay.
So there you go. There it is. There's your knockout. That's a knockout, folks. That is a knockout. So there you go. If you want to watch the whole thing, you can find it on my YouTube channel. That's where we will be putting it. I salute Adam King. He was a great moderator. Had some technical issues at the beginning, but that's okay. Adam has always been a fair moderator. And I salute Kestenbaum for showing up. He showed up to the debate, but it was a heavyweight bout. It was a 12-round fight, and he couldn't make it the distance, and we got the knockout. So there you go. How do you guys like that? Full debate going up on YouTube. Okay. Oh man, I've got some. Let me hit some other things in the leftover stack before we go into the super chat. We can do it a little bonus. We can do a little bonus today. I think we can do a little extra time today. So just allow me to go in and out of some of these extras here. Dave Grohl confirms new Foo Fighters album is finished. The rock band released a single Asking for a Friend last year when it announced its 2026 tour dates. I've always been a big fan of the Foo Fighters music. Definitely one of my favorite bands of all time. Forget the politics, guys. I know. All right. I know. Okay. I get it. Dave Grohl's politics, whatever. Leave, just please. I'm talking about music. If we can just talk about music. I've probably seen Foo Fighters, one of the best live bands ever. But I don't know if that's still true after Taylor Hawkins died. I don't know. I don't know if I could even go see them live without Taylor, to be honest. One of the most electric drummers and performers ever, as far as rock and roll is concerned. Their last album, I think it's called We're Still Here, came out in 2024. It's with the new drummer. It was okay. It was nothing like their classics, though. I mean, Foo Fighters in the 2000s and 2010s is about as good as you're going to get as far as rock music is concerned. But without Taylor Hawkins, I just don't know. I don't know if I could see them live. But they have a new album coming out, and so we'll give it a listen. They do good music. There's no doubt Dave Grohl, one of the most talented musicians in the world. So you can hate his politics as much as you want, but he is one of the best. And, I mean, basically, it is Nirvana. You say he's getting Nirvana back together. It's basically the entire Nirvana band, obviously, minus the past lead singer. So, I mean, Pat Schmier. I think for a minute they've performed even with the bassist. I saw them perform with the bassist actually multiple times on their tours. I actually got around. I was going to post this tonight, too. I actually got around to listening to Chevelle's new album last night. Came out last year. If you're a fan of Chevelle, Chevelle did it again. Those brothers are just incredible. So if you like Chevelle, they came out with a new, it's like Ironic Blasphemy or something like that. I forget the name of it. But Chevelle, their latest album came out a couple months ago. Awesome. So if you like that, you'll be if you like Chevelle, you'll be listening to their new album and enjoying it. I promise you that. Very good. Very good. Super Bowl bound Patriots and Seahawks to avoid 49ers training ground amid ongoing investigation on the substation theory. Whoa, here we are. Huh? We were ahead of the curve on that one. Wow. That's pretty amazing. They won't be practicing because they're afraid of those theories, which I think it's, it's kind of like, yeah, I'd say it's beyond theory, really. There's a lot of evidence there. So there's investigations. What are you going to do? Yeah, guys, I've been on the Patriots since day one here. I'm not changing my bets, but there's no doubt. There's no doubt the Seahawks are coming in hot. There's no doubt the Seahawks are coming in hot. Come on. The guy that just said, Ryan, or who just said that? Jeter's gift bag. You have to be kidding. Why did Montana and Rice never get hurt? You know that they practice at a totally different facility. Stop it. Stop it. This is why I can't go into the chat. Have you guys heard about this? This might make you think twice about wearing earbuds. Apple patents brain reading earbuds for neural monitoring. Brain surveillance just got a sleek consumer makeover. Apple filed a patent in January 2023 for earbuds equipped with electrodes capable of reading your brain waves, transforming everyday audio devices into neural monitoring stations. They call them electroencephalography sensors. I might be butchering that. AI-powered electrodes adapt to your anatomy. So your earbuds are literally reading your brain. Your brain data becomes corporate property. Are you still wearing earbuds? Now, there's no doubt. I quit wearing the Apple earbuds a couple years ago from advice, let's say, from my holistic doctor, my homeopathic doctor. So I quit wearing earbuds a couple years ago. And I get the wireless the wireless headphone thing. It's like once you have lost the wires, it's hard to go back. But there's different ones you can find that don't have the brain reading technology, or there's different ones you can find where the Bluetooth receiver is not actually in your ear. So like I have ones that have wires and they come down and then the sensor is on like a hook, like a chain hook. So it's not right there by your brain. A little bit better, but still you get the wireless feel. But I think that'll make you think twice. That'll probably make you think twice. Let's see what else we got here. And by the way, you can go see the patent, and it breaks it all down. Let's see, a woman with her this is all right. Yeah, we'll just throw it. Okay, let's see if there's anything else we want to get into. Let's see here. No, I don't think so. I think we can get into the super chats. All right. Let's get into the super chats. I got a whole stack of leftovers. I need to just come on one night and just do a leftovers show and just cover all of this. It's mostly one topic that I just don't like talking about, or just we talk about it enough that you just put it all aside. All right, guys. So here's how it goes. At the end of the show every day, we read your super chats on YouTube. I want to say this. Somebody reached out about Rumble and they feel that I don't properly, respect the Rumble audience. And you know what? I think that's a fair criticism. I think it's a fair complaint. So I do want to address that. We're always going to be on Rumble, and there's no doubt that Rumble has proven itself as a free speech platform. And so we do respect Rumble for that. And we're always going to be there. The show is still there. I have to do as much as I possibly can, essentially with very little. I have to run this show as efficiently as I possibly can. It's a one-man show, folks. I run the whole thing. And so I have to make decisions to give you the best final product possible. And the truth is, the systems that I use to run this show just are not interactive with Rumble. That's just the fact. And so in order for me to take the measurements to add the Rumble rants and the different aspects of Rumble into the show, it would either cost me money or I would have to add different technical elements that would make it more difficult for me to run the show myself. So that's the decision-making process. Now, one thing Rumble has been good at throughout the years is adapting their systems so that they do have a better user interface to make it more simplistic. But here's what happens, and this happens with different internet browsers that you might use. And you notice that, certain sites or certain, pay setups don't work outside of maybe a Google Chrome. So like a Brave or a Dissenter, all the different internet browsers that are out there now, you'll find out that some websites, the interface doesn't work. Some of the payment platforms, they don't work. And so you have to use Google Chrome. So it's kind of the same way with Rumble. It's just a lot of the systems, video encoders, processors, all of that stuff, they're not interfaced with Rumble to make it easy on the producer, to make it easy on the person making the show run. So that's the problem. But Rumble has done a good job over the years trying to update and adapt that interface so that it does interface with all the other production systems and everything else that goes on. So I'm hoping that that's what's going to happen. But to put it simply, the reason why we don't do Rumble rants is because they do not interface with my system. And the only way I would be able to do Rumble rants is if I actually had a separate window pulled up with the Rumble rants and I was monitoring the whole time, because they don't go into my system. My system interfaces with YouTube. So every single YouTube super chat gets saved into my system, and that's why I can go back at the end of the show and read all the super chats. It doesn't do that with Rumble rants. So maybe they'll update that. I did see that Rumble has just launched their new Shorts platform. I don't know what they're calling them, but they're competing with YouTube Shorts. So Rumble is, constantly updating, constantly upgrading, constantly trying to weave into the different systems to make it more accessible. So hopefully someday I'll have the same option to save Rumble rants in my system like I save the super chats on YouTube. So that's the answer. I think it was a fair criticism, but that's the answer. I have to make decisions to give you the best product. And it's just not worth it right now to interface with the Rumble rants. It's not efficient. It's not effective. And so that's why we don't do it. But it was a fair criticism, so I wanted to address it. It's funny on that note, though. The best video platform is X. It's really wild. X is the best video platform. For whatever reason, YouTube and Rumble have latency issues and even quality issues. The X live streaming platform has no latency and the highest quality video on demand. So I don't know what the team at X has done to surpass YouTube and Rumble in video quality. And that might not even have anything to do with it. That could have to do with the different processors I'm using, the different, encoders, the different systems that I'm using. That it could be that. It might not have anything to do with the platforms. But I've noticed, and this remains consistent, with my content and the stuff that I do live, X is the best video platform by far. Quality, no latency. X is now the king of my live streams. It is the best quality video. So that's just kind of an aside, though. All right, let's go to the super chats. Bob Elliott. Hi, Owen. When you going to have David Icke on? Thank you. I don't have any issues with David Icke. I don't think I have any way of reaching him because he doesn't follow me back on X. Yeah. So that's why. If he followed me back, I could send him a message and invite him to do an interview, but he doesn't follow me, so I have no way of communicating with him. So I don't know. I don't know when I'll have David Icke on, but I'd have him on. Tay-Tay, here we go. Line him up. Libertarian Goth yesterday in Super Chat is Tex Latina, a Texas Latina. Tay-Tay is a big supporter of the big booty Latinas, in case you guys haven't figured that out. Owen Schroyer's wifey. Shabos used to be a Democrat. Blondie used to be a Democrat. Trump used to be a Democrat. I'm noticing a trend here. Yeah, RFK used to be a Democrat. Tulsi Gabbard used to be a Democrat. Look, the two-party system is, we're finding out how pretty much worthless it is. It's not that there aren't policy differences and results-based differences. There are. But, you have to be really suspicious because there's so many people that get into politics and they're not. I want to choose my words carefully here. You have people that get into politics not because they believe in anything. Some people call them grifters. Some people call them agents. You have people in politics that they'll just go wherever there's an opportunity, or they'll go wherever it's trending, or they'll go wherever they think that they can become successful. So you see it in media. Someone will be on the left, then they'll be on the right. You see it in politics. Somebody will be on the left, then they'll be on the right. So that's really all it is. You have people that get involved in politics that really don't believe in anything. They really don't have any political beliefs, political systems, policies, whatever. They really don't. They just do whatever they need to do to be successful, and that's it. But yes, then you have people that are just actual agents that get into politics, and they're operatives. But there's no doubt with this administration, they're Republicans, all right, up there with Queen Nikki. Made it back to TPA from SeaTac. Sounds like some Florida talk. Jennifer K., are you on Upscrolled yet? Ask your social media gal. Actually, I think I might just tell her to retire TikTok, to be honest. I mean, it's all right. We do decent numbers on there. We got like 15,000 followers. I just don't care. I think it's more worth it to me to take a stand against TikTok and having it turned over to foreign interests. You say, well, what about the Chinese communists? Well, okay. But they were the ones that made it. And now the Israeli lobby forced them to hand it over. So it's a little different. But we didn't deal with any censorship issues on there until the exchange happened, and now we are. So I think I might do that. I think I might just shoot a video and say, look, this is why we're off TikTok. Follow me on Upscrolled. But it's another one of those things, like, I just don't do it. I'm not going to be on there. I'm just going to, the social media girl will, upload stuff and cut stuff. So to me, it's just another place to hopefully share content and bring people into the show. But I just don't know enough about it. That's my problem. That's why I have somebody do it for me. Oh, we already had that one. I'm behind here. Here we go. The accounts for newborns are just a way to get them into the system so they can become slaves to the machine. I don't know if it's like that, but it's definitely getting into a system for sure. Spanish golden age here now. Latina girlfriend, 27. A lot of chatter coming out. A lot of chatter coming out of that direction. Bob Bickerstaff, when Dow's Nicki Minaj, what are we saying here? When Dow's Nicki Minaj say, "What you think? I just fell out of a coconut tree." When does Nicki Minaj say, "What do you think? I fell out of the coconut tree"? Did she write that line for Kamala Harris? That was a Kamala Harris line. Isn't Nicki Minaj married to a creep? Well, so there's a theory. I don't want to get, I know what you're talking about. There's a theory that Nicki Minaj is cozying up to the Trump administration to try to get a pardon from her husband. So I think that's what you're getting at. I miss Fishback at a cafe in Leesburg, Florida the other day. You missed or you met? Guys, we got to do better. Can we do a simple spell check, a simple grammar check before you send these super chats in? Come on, you're better than that. Clean it up a little bit. Did you miss? So you missed Fishback or you met Fishback? Captain Hard, left and right are the same, just different cults. I don't think anything will change until a new party is created, and that might not even be enough. Well, you're not alone in that belief. B-Man778, in 2020, that happened at State Farm Arena. You're talking about the Georgia election fraud that the FBI is investigating, a different building now. Yeah. I laughed so hard when Shabos ran away. That's what happened. That's what happened. And look, I've done enough of these debates. I knew look, I said it the other day. I don't really do debate prep. So I didn't go and study Shabos and all this stuff. My debate prep is, here I am. What do you got? That's my debate prep. I do a show prep. I do my show, and then I go do a debate. That's what I do. But it didn't take me long. I have enough experience to realize what's going on. So, I guess I could show you some tricks of the trade here, kind of outing myself, some tricks of the trade. But it became pretty obvious what Shabos' style of debate was. So I've dealt with people like this before in debate. His style of debate is to go up there and flex his academic knowledge, his book smarts, and basically just give you a history lecture that might have nothing to even do with the subject material. It might be somehow adjacent to what we're talking about. But I know how this debate style works. You have people that are very well studied in history or something like that, and they just give you a history lecture, and so they look really smart, and he probably is really smart. He's definitely a smart guy. He has very great book smarts. So that's what they do. So they sit there and they just do a lecture. They just read off their academic book smarts so that they appear really smart, appear really knowledgeable, hoping that the audience will see them as the smarter person. And if they talk more, and if they just say more academic, book smart, knowledge-based stuff, that they'll appear to be the victor. But I know how to deal with a debate like that. It's the rope-a-dope. And then they punch themselves out. And then they lose in the 12th round. So there you go. There's a little trick of the trade for you right there. How do you like that? Keep going, Owen. Much love. People are waking up. Jeff Adair. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that. Astronomy. We are limited, but we have love. Love you, Owen. Well, maybe these limits are just a mirage. Toss a like, people. It will help Owen reach more. Subscribe on YouTube. That'll be big right now. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on Rumble. Follow on X. Help get those numbers up. Share the videos. People find the videos. They love the show. Just a matter of getting it out there. Reject the New World Order. Embrace Latina World Order. I think your girlfriend typed that. GoldenEye 007 on N64. You caught me on that one. Danny CCC. Owen, Netanyahu is not Polish. His grandfather was Russian, and his father was born in Warsaw, Russian Empire at the time. Polish people are offended when you say he is. We don't want to have anything to do with this devil. Fair enough. Fair enough. We will not be getting our babies Trump accounts. I don't think, I don't think so, guys. Are you guys going to be doing the Trump accounts for your babies? You might as well just open your own stock account, honestly. That's what it seems like to me. That'll give you better control over it. Dane2986, bro, you really debated on Awesome Jews channel. Did he make you sign a contract? LOL, you couldn't upload it to your Rumble? Well, I could upload it to Rumble. Yeah, we could upload it to Rumble. We're going to upload it to YouTube. We can upload it to Rumble too. I just keep the Rumble channel more clean. So it's like you go to the Rumble channel, you're just getting the show because that's what does well on Rumble. And I like to keep it clean there. And we upload some of the other stuff, some of the clips, some of the other extracurriculars I do. We do put that on YouTube because it does better there. I don't really get anything out of that on Rumble. People go to Rumble. They like my show on Rumble. So I kind of like to keep that clean with just the show. But on YouTube, other extracurricular stuff, other stuff we put up does well on YouTube. Look, people, it's kind of funny. And I guess you could say with the optics, it works to my advantage. They say, oh, you're going on the Awesome Jew channel or you're going on the Adam King channel and you're debating somebody on Israel or you're debating another Jewish person on Israel. It's like, oh, it's going to be weighted against you. Well, that might be the optics, but Adam has always been fair. And I do consider Adam a friend. So, but yeah, I mean, people see it and they're like, oh my gosh. So yeah, well, I'll say it like this, because this is what somebody said to me. They said, Owen, you're debating Israel and you're going up against two Jews? And I said, yeah. So it looks like the numbers are in my favor. L social media girl for keeping TikTok. What are you trying to take a job here? T-Mobile already has a deal with Starlink. How are those systems? I feel like I need to get one. No Latinas I know support Israel. I bet you could find one in politics. You could definitely find them in Congress. Other than that, maybe not. Why aren't you wearing the wedding band I gave you? Because you didn't give me one. And I wouldn't wear it anyway. So how do you like that? Why is nobody talking about how no tax on tips was a complete lie? Also, what do you think about the Sacha Riley interview? I'll have to look that one up. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Leo Crow. My understanding of the tax on tips is that it caps at $27,000, I think is what it was, right? So it's like up to $27,000, but I don't think it. So I guess what you're saying is it's a complete lie because I don't think you really get any. I mean, they'll take money out of your paycheck, but usually you'll get that reimbursed. I think if you're under like $30,000, like if you're under $30,000 and you don't have to pay any taxes, I'm pretty sure they'll give you a refund on all your taxes. I don't know the tax bracket that well. So I guess you're saying it's a complete lie. It's a mirage. You're already not getting taxed. And so they cap it at the number that they are not taxing you at anyway. So yeah, it's probably another. Yeah. I mean, again, it's all a lie. It's all a lie. Yes. You've been lied to again by another politician. This time his name is Donald Trump. That's why I always say I'm just sick of these games. I don't want to hear about new tax policy. Actually cut the taxes. Stop taxing us. I've banked high school span teach, not mine, way back when. Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know if I believe you. And I think I know what you're saying. I'll forgive your spelling errors here because they seem to be strategic. I'm not even going to comment on that. In addition to Bluetooth earbuds, even your phone puts off EMFs that are bad for you. Don't keep your phone in your pocket or on your body. Let me ask you a question, because I do agree with that, by the way. I see these girls all the time. If I'm out, or it happens at the gym a lot, and these girls, they put the phone in their bra. And I guess it's convenient to do that, I guess, because you're wearing the sports bra, whatever. So you just slide it in there and it works. Would I be, I mean, I feel it's inappropriate for me to stop and say, hey, you shouldn't do that. But it's like, isn't that the right thing to do? What do you guys think? Isn't that the right thing to do? It's like, hey, you're blasting your breasts with radiation here. You know that? It's like you are blasting your mammaries here. You might not want to do that. But it's also like, hey, shut up, creep. So it's like, yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah. You got me. So, I don't know. Makes me feel bad about that. LA Patriot. Oh, and when you say you're reading the chats, what chats are you reading? X, Rumble, or YouTube? So there's two different feeds that come in. I have my system that automatically saves super chats. It doesn't do that for Rumble rants. I don't know why. Again, that's just a Rumble interface issue that I hope they fix with StreamYard, but which they might. They've done good work with that in the past. So StreamYard has an option where I can auto save super chats. That's why I can go back and read them at the end of the show, but they don't do that for Rumble. So when I say I'm reading the chats, I then have a secondary live feed that shows Rumble, X, and YouTube. It shows all the chats. So if I open the chats, I can see all your chats right now. I can see Brittany on X. I can see Lycan on YouTube. I can see Miss Lee Lou on Rumble. So when I have the chat open, it shows me everything. But it only saves YouTube super chats. So I hope that answers your question. Ken Rose with the daily thumbs up. Thank you, Ken. H. Brown, have you checked out the work of Dr. Carolyn Borisenko regarding the far left? Yes, I am familiar with her and her work. If you have not, please consider having her on. She infiltrates the various socialist meetings to understand their plans. Yes, I have seen her work. Leak, and she's been doing that for a while, too. Leak 5682, watched you on InfoWars, and your show is always my favorite. Happy to support you here. Living in the hell, which is Minnesota, for work. Need to get out ASAP. Hate it here. It's cold there, too, man. I couldn't do that cold. Not for me. Missed Fishback because I was in Seattle. That's what I assumed you meant. Well, he's on the Florida tour like all the time, so you'll have another opportunity. I have Starlink for backup internet. It's awesome. Everybody that has Starlink says it's awesome. I've never heard anybody say anything bad about Starlink. Owen Schroyer's boyfriend. Great job on the debate last night. Well, there's a first. There's a first. So my fake wife is in here. My fake boyfriend is in here. What's next? My dog, my fish, my guardian angel. We're going to come up with all kinds of different names. I like it, actually. I think it's fun. So there you go. All right, we did it. Thanks, everybody, for the super chats. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Remember, guys. Oh, by the way, if you like the polo from today, if you like the polo that I'm wearing today, you can get it at owenschroyer.store. owenschroyer.store. Remember to give us a follow, a subscribe on YouTube, on Rumble, on X at Owen Schroyer 1776. We are going to upload the full debate. And we always put clips up as well, but that's really big for growing the show. That's really big for growing the show. It helps the algorithm. It helps us find new people, get new people to tune in, and that's how we grow the show. So I appreciate that. And I feel very blessed. I feel very blessed. So I thank you. All right. That does it for today. God bless and Godspeed. 21-hour break until the Owen Report comes back. We do have an Ask the Doctor episode at noon Central tomorrow with Dr. Diaz. So we'll be talking with Dr. Diaz at noon for Ask the Doctor, and then the Owen Report back on 3 o'clock Central. We'll see you there.